Hello everybody, welcome to the God Mode channel. I am your host, Jaso / the Wizard, and a DM, GM, MM, whatever you want to call me. Hello X-Rail, hello Mirza, hello anybody else who's lurking. Welcome to the channel, happy to have everybody. Tonight we are going back into it, the world of the Twixt plane, and playing another session, Lucent Odyssey. I believe this is session 21. Who else is joining me on this beautiful Friday?
Beautiful. Yeah, okay. Hey, it's Luke, and I'm playing Lincoln, who is a Warforged Fey Wanderer Ranger.
What's up, everyone? My name's Kevin, and I'm playing a Clashtar Druid named Time.
Next.
Who's next?
What's up, everybody? My name's Slim. I'll be playing Uncle Jimmy, a bugbear rogue.
Alright. Hey, I'm Kyle. I'm playing Professor Bark, Circle of the Moon Alchemist. I forgot the whole intros. He teaches at the Ravenous Eterna. And also, I'm going to be playing Obi Thickyfoot, #1 Fog Guy.
Hi everybody, I'm Nick. I play Forte, is a dwarven mechanic. He's sent here by the Serenitals to make sure the cart makes it from the wells one to another and help the well-wishers on their quest.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, Opie is going to be out this session. Man has come down with the coof. So, everyone send her your energies. Gonna recover and come back. Hopefully next week. We'll see how things go. If you all don't mind, it doesn't necessarily have to be one person in particular, but let's all keep an eye on the cart as you travel. For those of you who want to keep a log of those things. All right, good stuff. All right. Yeah, happy to have you all. A couple of very quick announcements before we dive in. First things first, a huge thank you to Amanda Otten for all of the beautiful character art that you see here. Thank you so much. Punch in Amanda Otten over on Twitter. Go follow her, give her some love. Beautiful character art for all of our characters. We hit our goal, our community goal. I think we only started it last week, right? And it was a community goal for a Gleedokin supply drop for 10 random but useful items. So thank you so much, everyone who is largely a part of our Monday through Thursday stream. Donating those points and being part of that. That's very kind of you. That means as soon as we dive in here, the party's going to run into a handsome little crate of delivered goods for all of them.
I love this.
So good stuff there. Most those can be traded in for gold stuff. And yeah, we play a game of D&D that merges the sort of rock, paper, scissors elements of like monster battling games out there. Pokemon and Digimon, Monday through Thursday. It's called Weirdkin Secrets of Labyrinthire. Come join us. You are the player in those games. It's a lot of fun. I'll post the link here. And we're also really close, we're really close towards 750 followers. If you are a enjoyer of the channel's content, I'd love to have you follow. I have some fun news that we'll be eventually announcing in terms of a stream that may not be happening here on this particular Twitch channel, but we will be a part of. That's going to be super fun. But hang in there. I need some stuff. Still have some stuff in the pipeline to get ready before we do that. If I have any internet troubles, if something happens with the internet, if we go out, hang in there. Just give it a 30 seconds to a minute. It should pop back. It's been very rare, but I just want to let you all know so you don't dip out the second it happens. Just give the screen a refresh after maybe seconds. It should be right. Frontier in this area is balls for trying to stream. And that's really it for my announcement. So without further ado, I'm going to roll into our intro. We're going to dive into the campaign. While you all watch the intro, I'm going to have my players draw any of their inspiration cards that they need to, and we'll start rolling some die to see who wants to give the recap from last week. So without further ado, let's dive into tonight.
What is it?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Cover a sorcery point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or increase your saves.
Saves are okay.
I mean, in this game, that could be pretty good.
+1 though. When has that ever mattered? I say when +1 constantly matters.
Yeah, I mean, a 2+1 doesn't do anything.
So let's see here. Did you all roll some die? Let me take a look.
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Yay. Lucky 7.
Good for you. I think that means only one thing. Forte, if you wouldn't mind, please tell us what happened last time on
Lucent Odyssey.
Thank you, Mr. Announcer Voice. We began the journey of the Lucent Odyssey with the well exploding all over us. It was a calamity of great fire, but because I work in the forge, it's not so bad for me. Everybody else hurt a lot. We get this guy, his big top hat. He is named Fey Grim Accord. Never seen anything like this guy. I don't know why everybody was all on edge. I just don't like him. Not a good person as far as I'm concerned. He says we have to go collect shadows or he's going to kill us. I don't understand why, but I guess because we broke his well, probably not a good idea that we did that. We have 14 days. We go back and forth with him. We have 14 days and he gives us a jar. And the jar is to go back to that the Jaydra that we almost forgot about, that almost ate all the people in Epicedium. We have to go back there now and kill that thing, otherwise he kills us. So we are over a barrel, as I've heard it said before. We then backwards, yes, over the barrel. We go into the next area. It's very mountainous, a very scary name called Jaws of Oblivia. Who names these places? Far too much scary in this Forlorn Passage is not okay. So we make to Helper's Hand. We meet Glissandro, very calm man, likes to hang out with Tynar and do things. He plays very cool instruments and shows us how all the Oblivion of Jaws looks like. And we look at the message board, find some things for Lankin. And most important thing, we find the grifter bugbear that sells all the space hamsters, and we win. We get the right space hamster, and now we have the best draft animal of all time. It is invincible in the ball of reality or whatever it is, a force field. Giant hamster runs around. It is incredible. It's number one mount.
Win is a strong word. I don't know if you win if you buy everything from the claw machine.
That is literally how win happens. If you are all of the players in the game, you automatically take number one. Is pure science. It makes perfect sense that we do this thing, and we have perfect strategy as the well-wishers. We make sure we cover all of the tickets, all of the bases, and make sure we are number one all times.
Yeah, you gotta play to win.
Play to win. Be sweaty, play to win, swipe hard. That's all that matters in the game.
Besides, what price would you put on friendship, mister?
It's a good friend for Opie. Opie is coming of the strong warrior type, needs definitely a noble steed. Magical hamster inside wheel is perfect mount for Opie.
I mean, 20 gold's 20 gold.
I say we throw it at the Jaydra.
I agree with this strategy. I think that there's something there. I think hamster is the one to conquer false Jaydra because all the mouths cannot eat it, so it automatically is win.
Sure. Let's see you do that plan. Thank you, Forte, for that recap. I appreciate that. You all find yourselves in the Helper's Hand Guild, located in a new region that you just made your way into this previous session, called the Jaws of Oblivion, a high-range set of mountains that line the area of the passage, the thinnest of all of the regions, and perhaps the most dangerous. We'll have to see. So stopping in, as you mentioned, Forte, you did a couple different things. Some of you made some supply stuff. You checked out the quest board here. You won yourself a hamster, stuff like that. And now you find yourselves all gathering inside. So, the ball is back in your court. Hello, E-Bread. Happy to have you. Thank you so much. What would you all, my well-wishers, like to do?
So, as I was saying, and then we win, or it's just the town with a faceless Hydra and a giant hamster running around for eternity. You know, it's a win-win.
It's not what that means. If we don't win, we must face Grim Accord.
I mean,
not exactly a win.
If we don't win,
I feel like this group
sure
needs to understand the definition of the word win more than it does.
yeah.
Well, if you think about the definition of win, it means you come out on top from where you were. So I see it that as win. I don't understand why you don't. If we're not dead, we win. It's easy.
I'm not smart enough to refute that, but that feels wrong.
You mean now or later?
Yeah, both. Why not both? If we are alive and we are on our way to do well-wishing as well-wishers, don't we win? That's the game.
The logic makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Of course it does.
I mean, someone's gonna win.
Right, we have almost died. You got the sun blisters very bad. Lincoln has no eyes anymore, but we are alive, so it's okay.
Oh yeah, I still need to we still need to spend the night here
Eyes?
so that Lincoln can not be blind anymore. That would be helpful.
You know, I heard about this guy, something beast. He can help you. I promise. Anyway.
Shut up. God. Fuck. Now I lost my train of thought. Anyway, we were prepared for the battle. We got like some stuff to protect against thunder, which is helpful.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if there's anything else that we need.
We have wax.
We still got plenty of wax.
We need to potentially pick up
Somebody
the explosives from that side quest.
Oh, that's right. Somebody needs to go talk to that guy.
And tell him we're gonna steal his explosives.
Yeah, maybe we could kind of deal with them, you know, and say, hey, do you have a little extra?
Yeah.
We need, we need it.
Oh yeah, the gnome Fleechler, or I don't know how to spell it.
The quest is you transport them there, right? We're not stealing them. If he agrees to let us take the quest, he'll give it to us.
Yeah. And then one just falls off the cart.
Yes.
Exactly.
Wink.
See, that's you're getting good at that. You don't even have eyes right now, and you're doing good.
That's right. At any rate, I need to meet someone tonight. So whatever we need to do to pass the time.
Do you need this wand of disrobing, because that might help your chances a little bit? I know I know you have a little, how you say, a je ne sais quoi about the about the way you talk, but
Lincoln says I can disrobe on my own, and then opens his robe, and it's just a horror show of like grasping hands and loose bones, and then ropes back up.
I mean, he's like pretty much already boned anyway, so we're good.
That's good. Go hunt your quarry and make sure you bring back a good story.
Oh yes, something tells me you'll be a part of this story for a long time.
I've been to a few parties, but I don't know about the kinds that you're talking about here. Maybe
just like Forte completely misunderstanding Lincoln, and Lincoln completely misunderstanding Forte.
We might be calling you Uncle Forte by the end of the night, you know?
Unlikely. I think Amanda mentioned last week we might need some more food, so I can like go hunting if somebody else wants to go talk to that gnome.
Oh, I kind of want to join you on the hunting part.
We can go hunting then. Anybody up for
foraging?
Yeah, I can talk to the gnome, because you guys are all good at survival stuff. I can go talk to the gnome.
Okay.
No, I have a -1 charisma.
Oh, actually, let me go with you, please.
I'll crazy that the giant puppet of bones is the one that's charismatic in this scenario.
I have fey magic that gives me extra to my charisma checks, even though I don't have any charisma.
Yeah, +6 survival. I can go hunt stuff.
I feel like
Charismatic.
there should be someone with the unattended bone golem to go accept the quest.
I got it.
Okay.
Tyne is a shapeshifter. Professor Bark's a shapeshifter. Jimmy's on his union coffee break. Like, Opie can hunt stuff too.
Yeah, the
You want to go kill some stuff?
Unless Opie goes and it's Calvin and Hobbes style. Just Opie shows up. Hey, mister, I need these explosives.
the quest log, the scroll parchment you found on the quest board gave you the details of the quest and had mentioned that you should speak to one of the front desk members of the Serenitals and ask for Fleechler, a gnome, to speak with him.
Very well, Forte. Let us go find this Leechler.
He sounds like a nice enough guy.
Hopefully.
You go to the front desk and ask one of the Serenital members, a young male Serenital, and they step away to go fetch Fleechler for you all. As they return after a few minutes, coming down one of the halls of the open lodge, you see following along with them a short-looking gnome that is wearing overalls and a pair of dirty, smeared goggles strapped to the top of their forehead. They have a pretty gnarly, sort of like, it's like a receding hairline like Vegeta, where they've got sort of like the centerpiece, of the Widow's Peak. And they're wearing gloves and boots, but they're kind of a little dirty. There's covered in a bit of like flecks of soot and stuff like that. As they come up and say, yes, I heard you were inquiring about the quest I had attached to the board. May I speak with you gentlemen about it?
Yes, hello. I like the attire there. I see we maybe have the same kind of mindset. I'm Forte. This is Lincoln. We are a part of the Well-Wishers.
He turns to view you, Lincoln, and says, oh my, interesting body you have.
Yes, it is comprised mostly of bones and sinew. We're not so different, you and I.
I suppose, in a macabre way, that's not exactly incorrect.
Everyone is piloted by a skeleton.
Made of stardust, yes, of course.
Right.
Well then.
Lincoln doesn't know about stardust, but he's just agreeing to be agreeable.
What can I do to assuage the details of this quest so that you may permit me to use, hopefully, a wagon larger than my carrying mule to acquiesce a number of very large and volatile barrels of TNT over to the cantankerous quarry, where I believe quite a bit of goodies lie inside?
Well, we're good at these things. This is what we do as adventurers. We're trusted by the Serenitals to do lots of important things. So if you could tell me approximately or roughly how many or how big the shipment is, and maybe a way to make it not so volatile so we do not explode while we transport it, we could make that happen for, you know, something that suits a handsome reward and possibly a small portion of the product.
Well, the idea is whatever free space you have on your cart or wagon, we are going to fill it up with my barrels. There will be no free space left. I want to make sure to blow this thing sky high. As far as I know, it has been covered for some time, the entrance blockaded in, and I think for good reason. To keep those curious out because of all the treasures that may lie inside. I have been a miner in these areas in the past couple of years and believe this may be the biggest find yet. So, provided you're willing to make sure there is not a single pound on your wagon that isn't strapped full load of large barrels full of tumultuous, volatile materials, then I think we have a deal. In terms of making sure the volatile explosives don't go off along your travels, well, I think it best to just be very wary in your travels. We'll need to make this a short trip, you see. I can't promise that the product will remain in a stable state for an extended period of time. Every day your wagon continues to travel, and every bump along the road is another small percentage that there will be a grand error in the travels.
No. Okay, so we're swapping out the Phytohydra for the hamster, definitely, yeah. Right? Okay. Lincoln cocks his head and says, but if every square inch of our cart is filled with barrels, how will we fit you?
Oh, I have a small mule, a jackass that I can take along with you. I'll be riding alongside, though with some modicum of distance, if you wouldn't mind. Following along so that we can trail our way over to the quarry. Payment, if you don't mind, is a little on the more, I should say, unique side. I don't have any gold necessarily to funnel straight to you, but I can promise you that I'm sure there will be a fair share of valuable materials that could likely be gained and obtained by opening up the mines of the cantankerous quarry and perhaps taking a peek with a few of us inside.
All right, Lincoln immediately looks to Forte with like a "we gotta ditch this guy" kind of shtick going on. I'm afraid we don't offer bodyguard services. We will happily take your explosives to the quarry and message you once the payload has been delivered. But we do not accept hangers-on.
Well, I don't mean for you to necessarily have to keep an eye over me. I'm certainly well worth my salt in surviving. I've been here for quite a few years. I know my way around some nasty creatures out there. I will simply need to go along with you so that when the quarry is opened, I may take my fair cut along with you all. I think that's fair.
When was the last time you were out there in the darkness?
About, I don't know, 6 hours ago?
Shit, okay. That was a gambit. That was a swing and a miss right there. Fuck.
It's very dark, if that's what you're suggesting, yes. Carry a torch with you, of course. Stay in the light.
Here is our conundrum, then. We need to leave. We have a very important date, so to speak, that we must make haste for tomorrow morning. From there, we will not be returning directly to the guild. However, we could meet you at the quarry afterwards. But in the meantime, perhaps you could load up our cart with the volatile materials. It would be much more convenient.
Wait, so let me follow along with you again. We get your wagon loaded up with the barrels.
Yes.
The following morning, we head out over to the quarry.
No, we have a previous encounter that we must take care of first. Lives hang in the balance, you see.
Oh.
And we will not have the time to swing back to the guild to load up our cart then.
Oh, well then, I think it better of a matter for you two all to attend to these needs that are certainly more dire, it sounds like. My investigations into the quarry are certainly important, but to be frank with you, I don't want to load your wagon with volatile explosives until the time is right to head to the quarry, you see. I would hate to find that you all kept them on your person outside of my purview to follow along with you, only to find a flaming wagon somewhere with a bunch of small specks of black dots on the ground where you used to be.
That would be terrible. Forte, you got anything? I got a Hail Mary, but it's not a good one.
It would just be to ask him to buy some in the meantime, or take some on loan, and we'll come back and take less of a cut.
Yeah, something like we would like to test it ourselves. We don't need a full payload, just enough to see the effects of these devices.
Yeah, that's my shot.
Specifically to collapse a small mine or something like that.
Yeah,
Technically not a lie.
it's not. That's what I was gonna go for.
Actually, it might be a lie. That's fine. Lincoln's good at lying.
So.
I mean...
Mr. Fleechler, I have a bit of, say, a proposition.
Okay.
We are in a very, very strange situation where people are in danger, but we want to help.
Staying in the balance.
Yes, as Lankin says, is very, very important work, and we don't want to endanger you one bit. However, we are also in need of exposing, clearing, and demolitioning a cave to save people. That's why we are interested in helping you, because we'd like to see how your materials work. Perhaps maybe we do not have to bring as much of your materials as you think to blow open the cave. So maybe it would be best, as you see, I am also well versed in craftsmanship and demolitions and whatnot. We, the goggles, they see everything.
Yes.
If we take maybe a small portion of your explosives over to this cave that we are going to, we'll let you know. We'll take full documentation, let you know how good it is. That way you can make precise calculations on how much we need to transport. Makes it much safer for all of us.
A sample, so that we can gather the safety or lack thereof of these devices, and hopefully save some lives along the way.
Make either one of you make a persuasion check.
-1 for me.
Can
You
I
don't
do
mind.
a deception?
Or, well, yeah, I guess this would technically count as deception.
It's a
Either one of
-1
them
for
would
me.
technically work.
Oh, I'll use my last +1. I'll make that a dirty 20.
Okay. You see him sort of scratch it. Weird. Well, then, how about this deal? Let me counter that, but with something I think you may still find enticing. If you want a display of the explosive's power, then let us go to the Cantankerous Quarry as soon as possible. We'll blow the thing sky high so you can see how it works, and in return, you'll not only get a cut of what you find inside, but I'll also provide you with 3 more barrels full of dynamite powder.
A fair deal. One small concern. How far away is the quarry? We must return to Epicedium in the previous region, and then also travel somewhere else within the span of now 12 days, or we and several innocent people will die. Now that's not a lie.
It's just facts.
Them's just facts.
Yeah.
Well, if you all are okay with perhaps, pushing yourselves for just a few hours, then we could likely reach it before a day's end.
And where is it?
He goes ahead and marks it on your map since you were talking to him.
So you're saying just a day away?
If we can push it and get there and teleport back to the guild in time to go to sleep, I think we can make this happen.
It's gonna be thread and a needle, but we can do it.
All right, Lincoln. I'm glad this worked because my Hail Mary was Charm Person, and my Charm Person DC is like 12, so it wasn't. It was gonna be a real Hail Mary. Lincoln says, "We have a deal. Load up the cart immediately."
Okay.
An indestructible hamster.
All right, sure. Yes. Give me just a couple minutes, 15, 20. I'll have your thing loaded up in no time.
Lincoln yells out into the wilderness for the rest of the group to come back.
Start shrieking. Cicada.
Well-wishers, you are summoned.
Is there anything we can liquidate on the cart and make more room?
I mean, probably all the liquid we're carrying.
I don't think we need to liquidate anything, right? He's just going to take up every available spot with more barrels.
So, as you were doing that, Slim / Uncle Jimmy, Professor Bark, Tyne, were you all scavenging for food? Was that what was happening?
Yeah, that was my plan. I was gonna go out and forage, see what I could find. Food,
Right.
edible wise.
One of you, please make me a scouting check. This will be a survival check to see what the amount of abundant resources around is at.
I got a +5 myth third.
I got +4, so go ahead.
Alright, Obi, thank you for.
He's not a Pokemon.
Oh.
Aw. Oh, Luke got a +1, by the way.
Who did?
Luke.
Oh, hell yeah. We're back, baby.
Shoot, sorry, misters.
Um,
Thank you, make you proud next time, Dad.
Bye.
Opie, the swamp is your home, but the rocky mountainous dryness of the higher altitude of this place is a little more foreign to you. On top of that, things in terms of resources here this far into the passage seem relatively scarce. There is not much water or food to be found around.
He holds up his hand. He's like, I tried to dig in the dirt, but it didn't work. He just got bloody hands all over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
find
SpongeBob episode where they enter Sandy's dome for the first time.
Yeah.
What is this place?
Such a good episode.
yeah, you find no resources during this resource hunting,
That's
which
fine.
takes, I think, an hour,
More
2
room
hours.
for explosives.
I'd like to hunt for resources that I can shoot in the head.
That was all part of the same check. There is no real game here. There is no sources of water that you find in this period of time.
Oh man.
You hear Lincoln's voice call across the echoing mountains. Avengers assemble.
And one of the harmonic flux has ticked down. 2 hours have passed. At this point, your wagon has been fully loaded with what appears to be large, stocky, fat-trimmed wooden barrels, all slapped with various etchings of explosion marks all around them. So I did note that they are highly volatile.
One last thing before we leave, Jason. How much is a room for the night?
5 gold pieces for...
I rent out a room. I tell the innkeeper, I forget his name, the groovy dude with the guitar. I pay the 5 gold. I say, if someone named, it was Granny Bones, right? Was the
Granny Bones, yeah.
old Granny Bones? If someone by the name of Old Granny Bones comes by looking for me, direct her to this room. I will be back, but most likely very late, just before dawn.
Mama Bone.
All right, sure thing. Oh yeah, old Mama Bone. Yeah.
Old Mama Bone.
He says, "Yeah, can do, my friend."
Cool. All right, let's quickly Allons-y, as they say. We must hurry.
The gnome begins to ride up with a sort of sleepy-eyed donkey. It is similarly covered in pock marks on its fur of sort of black suit. And he looks and says, you're going to want to make sure your wagon is in tip-top shape before we go. Any extra creaks in the wood, any bounces on the road, that's not going to be good for any of us.
How's it looking right now? We had the grease buckets up recently.
Didn't Forte and myself work on it not too long ago?
It wasn't too long ago.
We hit it for 8 on the last mending we did, so...
You can make a check to see how good it's...
Yeah.
What would you take for that?
Blind.
Perception? Maybe?
A perception and investigation would likely work better. Survival check might even work.
Oh, I can
survival.
Nice.
25. I'm pretty good at looking out for the card.
There are some smaller sections where there are some slightly bowed and bent pieces of wood, some slightly cracked areas, but largely it looks pretty good. It's not at the absolute tip-top shape of efficiency, but it's looking good.
Could I,
If we're gonna take a rest here anyway, I can hit it with a mending.
Well, we're not. We're fucking going. We're going to the quarry. We need to see if it's like ship worthy right now, and if it's not, do something, and if it is, we're going.
It is.
Okay.
I can.
Mending takes an hour. We need to get going.
All right, we got our hamster.
Sorry, if it's only an hour, we should make that delay. It's not going to kill the day for that.
Okay, if you think we can spare it, let's do it just to be safe.
I would rather travel with space in the dark than blow up a lamp.
Yeah, a fair point.
I agree wholeheartedly. I'd rather not explode.
All right.
I'd like to use some wood if we have someone to help out with it. Is that a
right.
survival check?
Hang on just a second. Mending, that's going to be a D4 from time.
Just exploded the other day. I don't intend to do it again.
We did just explode. It was not fun.
And then how many pieces of wood are you using?
How much are we allowed to use for an hour?
I'll say 10.
I'll do 10 pieces then.
And you're going to make a woodworking, tinker, or carpenter tools check. You may pick a relevant skill. Survival probably works. You get advantage if you are proficient with those tools. If not, just give me the same.
I just sound like a goon. I think it's woodworking that I have the tools for on me. I'm trying to remember.
If you're not proficient, I'll give you advantage. I have woodcarver's tools.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm proficient. I just can't remember which one of the two. I made one specifically for that. Oh no, you said I could because I was proficient in vehicles, land vehicles.
Sure. Give me that check. Are you using how many pieces of wood did you say?
10.
Nice.
That's a
Fish
19.
for a crit. Just let's see.
Do it.
Never know. Okay.
Oh, even better.
24.
Deciding you may not want your wagon and all the contents within to completely explode, you decide to spend one more hour bringing you to 3 o'clock light time. But now your wagon looks like it is in tip-top shape.
Excellent.
All right. Is everyone
Let's
ready to
go.
begin heading out?
Quickly.
All right. Let's
I
make
have
our
a
way there.
Date to keep tonight.
We'll make this quick. You have people to save, of course. Supplies to deliver, I'm assuming, right?
Sure.
Something like that.
All right, fair enough. Let us be on our way then.
Stop asking questions.
You ask a lot of questions.
I have actually been pretty brisk on most of the questioning. To be fair.
You remember the last guy who asked a lot of questions? Yeah, me neither.
Alright, hang on. Just a sec. Quick. On the fly stuff. And we're gonna add a token. Have a generic token for this campaign? I think I do.
You see the brand new roller skates?
Yeah, I don't know why that.
New pair of roller skates.
I mean, we should get together. Sing
What the?
Alright, you begin your trek towards the quarry.
Quarry.
The quarry. First 3 hours pass. Gonna bring you to, or first 2 hours pass as you move ahead. Bring you to 5 light time.
I say just straight west and then down, or east. East and then down.
First roll to see how things go on the wagon.
Oh God, what? Is it just a naked roll? What do we do?
You don't have to do anything.
No.
Drive well, Jimmy.
You just stay there and look pretty.
This could be like campaign ending. This was just goes to show a plan made hastily is either really, really good or really, really bad.
We only have like 400 pounds of TNT. It's something like that. It's no 40 pounds.
I mean, if we
I'm bad
lose
at
our
math.
cart, we can't get to Epicedium in time to get the shadow, so we're double fucked.
Forte is actually the artillerist dwarves from old Warcraft 3.
Mortar combat.
I'm TNT. I'm dynamite.
You move ahead again. So far, so good. The rocky ground underneath the sort of tumultuous range here, moving through the mountain region, is bumpy and not very fun. I'm assuming you all spent a night here already. Did you rest here at the Helper's Hand Guild?
Oh no, we're still in the initial visit.
Yeah, we stayed the night just outside.
Oh, just outside.
outside, yeah.
Okay, thank God. All right, I was gonna say, oh shit. Okay, that's good then. You did here, 2 hours passed, or you were here and then 2 hours passed, and that's gonna put you over to 7 blight time. Another tick off the harmonic flux.
Got it.
You're still fine. Everything is good so far. Nothing of note along the trail. It's still bumpy, stocky the entire time. Leechler is trying to make small talk with you all, asking how much you've dug in the region, what interesting and valuable baubles and gemstones you may have found underneath the surface. Likely not
We
getting
got
much.
here like 2 hours ago. Silence.
All right, very well.
We aren't miners per se.
Well, not all of us.
I'm only 8 years old.
I think your tibia is like 40 though.
Fair.
Move again. 2 more hours pass. You're 3 into your 5-day normal trek, but you could push it past 5.
Oh, we're gonna have to do that. Everybody get ready to use those advantages.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Here,
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm waiting for the explosion dot wave.
What's the worst that could happen? Said Jimmy.
Well, now it's gonna happen.
You all see something up ahead as your wagon and Fleechler pulls to a stop.
Wild Zubat
It didn't
appears.
explode.
Damn dwarves.
What is that?
Oh man.
Several figures stand in your way along the path. A series of what look like ghastly-faced dwarves in rigid armor that is rusted and covered in what looks like sort of hammers on two ends of the armor's hands and a spike pin that touches the top of their almost palishly purplish heads, their eyes covered in a milky white. They all stop. Amongst all of them, a large construct-looking creature turns to you. Its large hands appear to be whirring sharpened ends, likely made for what you could assume to be grinding into stone. As each of them see you, they begin to approach with some hostility. Please roll for initiative.
Oh darn, they're just mindless automatons. I thought maybe I could reason with them construct to construct. Let's fucking kill them.
Make sure you click your character before you roll initiative.
Always a fair reminder. God damn it! Look at these rolls!
I swear I haven't gotten an initiative like higher than 9 this entire
Oh
campaign.
no, you did. You weren't here that week though.
Yeah.
We got to use your core ability that you've never gotten to use before. Don't worry.
Can you all tell me what your initiative was, please?
Oh fuck! I'm sorry, guys. That's
Oh, it was like a 40. I promise it was like a 48.
17 for me, 6 for Jimmy, 8 for Lincoln, 4 for Forte.
8 for Jimmy.
Yes. No, 8 for Lincoln, 6 for Jimmy.
15 for Professor Bark.
7.
Rolled mine yet. That's the wrong
Yeah, I was
one.
gonna say I didn't see his.
Oh, Professor Bark got a 19, and Opie got a fuck, 23.
Ooh,
That's nice.
I ordered twice.
Also, make sure and update your token. For those of you.
Why am I weird? Okay, there we go.
that's a long.
That's a long way down, boy.
It's terrible, dude.
All right, and if you'll punch in your stuff, Professor Bark and Opie, punch in.
Oh, yeah, sorry. What did I roll?
19. Pretty good roll.
Yeah, but the time I need a break, I get it.
Hey, at least I go probably before. I imagine these zombie suits of armor probably have pretty low dexterity.
We shall see.
They just start doing flips and shit.
What was Opie's roll?
23.
2-3.
Nice.
Going by descending. All right. Opie. It seems several construct and gaunt-looking dwarvish figures in this strange-looking, very similar construct, almost like armor, have stopped in your way and are beginning to approach with some amount of hostility. What would you like to do?
Oh, boy.
And then after this battle, remind me, I need to give you guys those 10 random items. Duh.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
Do we have
community.
room for them though right now?
We got them before we loaded up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I feel
Are
like
any of those items a delete one random encounter?
No.
Oh, I know what Opie can do. What is this? What is her bread from? Is that an action?
Oh, frog bread?
Bread to
Oh,
frogs.
yeah, bread. Yeah, no.
No, frog bread.
Yeah. Awesome. It is one action, so we'll do that. We'll summon 4 frog.
Oh, you're summoning 4 frogs, of course. Of course you would.
Yeah. Does it give a range? They must be close to me, I guess.
It's this time. And I'm going to give you control of them so that you can punch in all stuff. If you don't mind.
I got a little bit too much to do all at once. This was a mistake, but it's the right play.
Welcome to Opie!
Alright, 30 speed. They go directly after Opie, if I remember right. I think
Then in
that's
that case, we'll add their turn and just stick them underneath Opie's icon.
I think that's probably
Sounds right, but
because I don't think Rangers got like a good bonus action, right? Bonus action, 2 weapon fighting, and second turn. Yeah, okay, sweet. I'm gonna run this way. Maybe we should not stand so close to the cart, you guys. Who's that? Oh, that's our gnome friend.
Yeah, this token here, and I'll put a name to them that they're Yule to stay out of the way for this.
Why come the frogs are so much uglier this time?
Frogs advance. Don't listen to Planking. He's just a jerk.
Flying V of frogs.
These are some dead fucking frogs. I love it.
It's just running for the fucking grinder.
It's like a D-Day Normandy landing thing.
Yeah,
There's like a
yeah.
frog holding its legs,
Yeah.
stumbling around.
Jesus. Alright, yeah.
Oh shit.
Knowledge checks are free.
4, and then these 2. That's right, my fog form. Get down! Alright, I think that will be it for Opie and Frog Stains.
Alright, frogs push up as Opie throws a couple breadcrumbs around himself, summoning his frog army. Up next, you, Professor Bart.
Up next is Professor Buck. He knows what he's gonna do. He sure does.
I did a nature on these guys because it looks like I can't tell if they're like zombies or like dudes that are like stuck in armor or what their deal is, but it's only a 9, so keep going, Bard.
I'm
I'll give you
curious
a bit
also.
to give myself time.
Oh shit, 22. Thank you, Bart.
Yeah.
That works.
On a 22, you're able to recognize these as specifically Duragar.
Oh my gosh, dude.
They
I bet
are
our friend is digging around here.
digging machines and siege engines used to dig tunnels and besiege enemy fortifications.
So they are dwarves or they're automatons?
With your check, Lincoln, you get the sense that this is the armor they wear is actually fused to them. It is a hybrid fueled by the Duragar's psionic energy, and the Duragar inside the machine can psychically channel pain into power.
Whoa, that's
Duragar in the shell.
fucking goth as fuck. That's crazy.
No good.
Ghost in the shell.
Duragar in the shell.
Okay then.
Alright. Very well. If we're going to win, we better have a fighting chance. Fairy fire! And it'll hit all 3 of these guys here.
All right, what kind of save you need?
It is a dexterity save.
And
14.
who's it hitting again? Just let me know.
The 3 in the middle here. You got this guy and these 2.
So it's a big one and 2 Duragar behind it.
See,
Okay. First roll from the big construct machine. You said deck save?
14.
Big machine completely failed.
Nice.
And the two behind it, first one will go at the top, fails. One below it fails.
Excellent.
They are
Attacks
all
have
marked
advantage.
by your fairy fire.
That's awesome.
Put a little fire icon so you all know.
Excellent.
And it is a concentration spell, so it is semi-permanent.
Okay, we're gonna try to come at you. They're probably not smart enough.
They're gonna come at you. Can somebody with a better nature check than me maybe make a check to see if they're strong against fire, like fire, not fairy fire?
20 nature.
Against which one? What are you doing?
The gray dwarves. What do they look like? They'd be weak against anything? Do I know?
You get
offhand
the
if they make a
sense
check?
that poison probably isn't going to do much to them. They almost, as you guys have already pointed out, they're sort of almost husks in a driven shell fueled by anger. So poison likely won't do much, and they are immune to a variety of conditions. You probably can't, going along with the fact that they're probably just husks, you can't charm them, can't get exhausted, probably don't get scared, can't be paralyzed, etc.
Okay.
Nothing that seems to give you the sense that the Duragar are immune or resistant to fire, though.
Okay.
Check.
Cool. Good enough for me.
You do notice the Ruin Grinder as the sort of turbines in its hands and spiky filaments at the end of it spin around. There is a plume of what looks like sort of fire that juts out of a hole on the top of its head, spewing forth some brimstone and smoke that plumes up in the air.
That's good to know.
All right, Professor Bart, what are you doing? You already did your fairy fire. Anything else, Professor Bart?
Yeah. I always fuck up with these damn too many animal choices. I will go with unicorn. Transform.
Is that large size?
It is a large creature.
Unicorn.
Unicorn.
You become a beautiful unicorn.
And then I'll dash up this way. 2. That seems good. You guys are gonna come this way, right?
Yep.
Trying to attack, I guess. Somebody.
Yes, we must keep them away from the cart, especially the one that has fire coming out of it.
All right, good stuff. Professor Bart, good stuff. Time.
Alright. Bonus action shillelagh, and then just.
Here's my shillelagh, guys.
Bonk.
I'm just gonna get over here. Can I hold my produce flame at hold an action to throw it when something gets in range?
Sure. Preparation action, sure.
That's what I want to do.
All right, you do that thing.
Can I redo my movement?
Sure.
Okay. So, I'm a big old giant unicorn that has lots of speed. Forte. Right.
Can I do that?
On your turn, you could crawl on.
Okay.
I imagine you're gonna have to buff first. That's why I'm offering it to you.
It would either be that or I gotta dash to get up front.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. It is the large construct's turn next.
Still gotta figure out how much fucking HP these frogs have. Oh, Jesus, they're too hardy. I hate it. 18, I'm going to have to keep track of that.
The large construct throws its two arms into the rocky surface of the ground around it, and you all watch as rocks and debris shoot up in the air along with dust and particles as it burrows under the ground.
Oh, damn it.
Don't like that.
Oh no.
Don't like that at all.
Time to execute Kevin Bacon Trimmer and start making noise somewhere else.
It erupts from the ground immediately in front of little shit in its hamster ball,
I forgot we named it that.
and immediately makes an attack against it.
Glad we switched it out.
You watch as it brings a rotating, whining, grinding hand against the edge of the clear ball that surrounds little shit, and you watch as sparks fly as hard as the construct pushes its arm, sort of shaking as it does. It's not able to make any headway on the large, sort of spherical sphere that surrounds the creature. It takes a step back, and then sort of repositions, turning towards you, Time. And it's going to end its turn there. Up next are the Duragar.
I'd like to contend that my dex is probably higher than theirs, if we're using that as the method of
Oh
determining
yes,
ties.
you did get a tie. Yeah, let's let you go first.
Cool.
I throw my technically it's within range, so I wanted to throw my
Sure.
flame.
It pops up, and yeah, as it tries to burrow into the ball, it triggers your attack. Sure.
17 to hit.
17 versus AC will hit.
6 fire damage.
All right. You watch as you fling out a produced flame against the creature. As it hits against its outer hardened form, the flame is pulled inside, almost sucked underneath its armor, and the plume of fire at the top of its head spouts even harder.
Good job. Nailed it. He told us it had fire coming out of it. Why did you do that?
1.
Now you know. All right, Lincoln, you're up. Yeah, you would you go first.
Spider crawl over to this thing. Start stab.
Targeting that one. Yep.
Hiya.
Oh yeah, and they have fairy fire. Don't forget.
Oh yes.
Oh, thank God.
fucking God.
Oh my gosh.
Daddy
won.
Here. Okay. That's gonna be 14.
You strike against the side of the construct. It is a hard exterior. That's a miss.
Dumb. I'll do my second attack. How's about a 19?
A 19, that'll hit.
Cool. All right, that's gonna be 19 magical damage.
All right.
Piercing and psychic.
Piercing. Okay, thank you. All right, you do about this much here. Thank you. All right, anything else? Lincoln.
I think that's gonna be it for me. Done.
Okay.
Let me mark down that I actually cast Hunter's Mark here. Oh, that's dumb. You hit cast and it does the damage roll. That's not how that spell functions, but all right.
Move top to bottom. The Duragar shift up towards the frogs. One of them brings a claw attack to the first one. 7 versus AC. You'll probably miss.
Oh, misses it. Yeah.
All right. It then switches to its other hand, as you see in the image here, bringing down a hammer for 18 versus AC. Hitting for 8 bludgeoning damage.
Son of a bitch. All right. Which one was that? Sorry.
Top one here. This one.
Top one.
Next one, 5'10", shifts up and does a very similar thing. Throws a pincering claw attack at the frog. That's going to miss. Same thing for 8 versus AC. It brings down a hammer, trying to splat the frog on the ground for 12 versus AC.
Is a hit.
All right, that's 12 bludgeoning damage as it just throws the hammer tipped in spikes down on top of the frog's head. This next one's going to move 5, 10. Hey, you guys have luckily distracted these. Going to hit with a claw attack for the next one. That'll totally miss. Second attack is an unnatural 20 for 9 bludgeoning damage on the third frog down. Kind of going in order here. And final Duragar, distracted by a frog, slings out a claw for 22 versus AC. That's 8 piercing damage. Second attack, 9 versus AC.
Is miss. Oh my
okay,
god.
so 8 piercing damage.
Frogs.
Wall of frogs. Your best spell.
Down, frogs. Get down.
All right. They are all distracted by the frogs that have pushed up against them. Uncle Jimmy, you're up next.
Jimmy's gonna move forward. His speed.
Why are you even like that?
Because I won't be able to get to the other side. I want to get to the other side, but even moving for friendlies, I can't. Gonna take,
Long arms.
Long arms.
He is under fairy fire, yes?
Yes, that's
I
a
can't remember
little
if he
flame
got hit or
icon.
not.
Yeah, a little flame icon on the guys that have fairy fire on them.
It's 25 to hit.
That's gonna hit, my friend. Roll for a natty 20.
Yeah, please.
It's a nap.
Yeah, that was
2d20, keep highest one plus 7.
Oh, I see now. Thank you.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't
know
like
why
that.
it rolls different on his.
Also, I don't.
There you go, 17 damage total.
Right.
Piercing, if that matters.
It might. So thank you for. No.
5 piercing, 12 sneak attack. I assume it just all goes in.
All right. Yeah, you fire a bolt towards one of the open sections of the large construct, catching it as sparks fly. Some of the gears on its arms, sort of for a second, just sort of stop twisting around at a fast speed, almost as if they glitch for just a second before continuing. What else you got?
Taking a second shot. It's 15.
15 will miss.
That's it. He yells a few obscenities and tries to get the thing's attention, and I'll end my turn.
All right. It seems that it originally had its attention turned towards time, but now is slowly turning the way of you, Lincoln, and Uncle Jimmy, who have actually sort of taken some stabs at its backside. That brings us to Forte up next. A large unicorn Professor Bark. I imagine it looks like a unicorn, but has Professor Bark's face. Stands in.
It's got like leaves and stuff woven into all the hair.
Okay, that's makes sense.
Yeah.
Forte will jump up onto Unicorn Bark.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of want to get this thing dead as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's made of fire and is close to our exploding cart.
Yeah. So I will do a Sacred Flame to it, which is radiant damage, not fire. I listened.
Huh? Oh, okay.
Please have it make a Dex 14 save.
Sacred Flame, it just fucking nuclear explodes.
If Fairy Fire does anything to Dex saves, then
I don't think so. I think that's just advantage to hit. A big construct, very slow, fails his Dex save.
He's a big boy.
6 radiant, and as a bonus action, a giant anvil appears.
Oh my god, why don't I just need to have it on every battle map?
You do.
It's one of the 3 things that I can do. A
Right.
anvil comes whistling by.
You summon your spiritual weapon, this anvil, appearing nearby for you to use. Okay.
20 versus AC.
That'll hit.
That is at advantage. Fish for a crit.
Oh yeah.
I rolled I rolled the 9 on the second one. It's gonna do 10 force.
Hey, good stuff. A spiritual anvil appears nearby and smashes into the construct that actually sort of takes a step forward, sort of thrown off by the volley of attacks sort of hitting it in a single round as it sort of stands back up, the gears spinning a little less impressively around its wrist circulating. Anything else, Forte?
Bark to the front as quickly as possible, please. Pass my turn.
All right. That's going to be Opie and Frogs up next.
Oh boy. Let's get that big guy. What do you think? Says to himself.
I agree! Fleetshore yells.
Fletcher's right next to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep it away from the fucking explosives!
She was talking to the frogs, but...
Does Gnome have a turn, or is he just not a thing?
22 for 7 pure.
Fleetcher has a turn at the end of the turn order, but Fleetcher is not. He's happy to stay there out of the way.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
get on that ballista, dude. Do something.
No, Fleetcher. If anything, Fleetcher is like sort of like watching his eyes flick from the construct to the wagon, and he looks like ready to bolt. He's not wanting to fight.
Coward.
Oh, nice. Okay. A swarm of bees follows that shot that does 7 piercing damage, and the construct has to make a admittedly bad that its strength DC 13 save.
Bring save?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make that one.
You're a jerk, mister. And then he shoots again. Don't beat up my best friend, little hit. For another 7. Oh, fuck me. Another 7 piercing.
Okay. It still hits and fires another arrow that strikes, actually hitting the construct in a point that actually deals damage to it.
Ooh.
Sparks begin to whir out of or fire out of the construct's sort of open joints and areas of its armor that are more exposed.
Ignore the attack roll on that, but it also makes a DC 13 strike save. The entangle strikes the last one.
Strength save?
Yeah, another one. This is a different ability from the first one.
It's still gonna save.
Check.
Slow and lumbering, but looks like it
That's all
packs a
my
punch.
tricks.
Alright, Frog's up next.
Frogs. We'll just attack, I think, is the best action. Bite. Plus 3.
Let me take a look here.
4 attacks will go left to right, top to bottom.
Sure.
19 does a 16 hit.
16 will miss.
Okay,
First
so
and
19
third will
won't
hit.
6 plus. And the same around those. You take 3 and 2 piercing damage.
Alright. The frogs flick out their tongues, the first and third, hitting the Duragar. As they do, the Duragar's engine of pain triggers as both of them immediately retaliate with a hammer attack against those respective frogs. First one up at the top, 16 versus AC. It bludgeons it for 9 points of damage as it brings a hammer down on it.
1 HP is enough to live.
And the third one, a hammer attack coming at it for a natty 20. That is going to be 14 bludgeoning damage on that one.
Yeah.
It drops its spiked hammer down on the frog's head, and you hear that gross sort of quick cry before a whining sound and a nasty sort of bubbling afterwards. as it brings its hammer up covered in frog guts.
Ooh. So then before they end their turn, this frog will move. Yeah.
All right, good stuff.
Will be it for them. Oh, god damn it. And then it's my turn again.
Professor Bark!
Right. This one's easy. I can't do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh yeah, you're
gonna
with.
go back and make that a little bit of a wider turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That still gets it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you need to be next to it, Forte?
I don't necessarily need to be next to it. I just need to be like around here, especially if I'm gonna hit Spirit Guardians 15 feet. So this is about good.
Draw it in the opposite direction.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
All right. Let's do it. I think that's actually all I can do.
All right, you gallop across the rocky terrain, Forte riding on your unicorn back as you pull each other closer towards the middle point of the battlefield. Forte, you can now get a better look at what's happening here and a better look at the corpse of a grossly smashed frog up ahead.
Since I can use my action to move, tell me exactly where you want to be, Forte. I've got 100 feet of movement.
This is okay because I can engage this guy, and then with Spirit Guardians up, I can be a flat line in front of, basically wall of fire blocking all of these guys as they advance. So I'm good here. Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Pixelated Bunny, for lurking. Up next, Tyne. You see Professor Bark in unicorn form carrying Forte towards the middle of the field. Whoa.
I want to first mind link with little shit, and can I try to tell him to see if he can back up the cart?
On his turn at the end of the round, he can back.
Okay. I didn't know if he had a turn. That's why I was okay. Cool. All right, and so now. Try to slow this guy down. Up to 10 feet in front of me, let's see, we'll cast, switch back to my spells. Earth Tremor. DC 15 saving throw.
And is that on a specific target? Is that what happens?
It's 10 feet in front of me.
Okay.
It just casts, yeah.
All right.
The ground 10 feet in front of me.
Dex save as you make the ground tremble in front of you. Directly in front of you, of course, the large construct. It's going to make its dex save.
Ooh,
No. Failed.
That's really cool.
It is very cool.
No, that's actually from D&D. I believe it's from Ravnica.
That makes sense.
It fails.
Excellent. It takes just takes 5 bludgeoning damage, but since the ground is earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until cleared. So
Okay.
now it's also in difficult terrain. These two, the two spots like right in front of me.
Yeah, the ground beneath it begins to tremble and erupt as both of its large, sort of blocky construct legs fall through and are sort of trapped in the nearby rubble as you sort of erupt the earth around its feet. Good stuff.
Slow it down, keep it from getting to the wagon.
Sure. Anything else?
That's my action. That's it. I'm good.
It turns towards you.
No. You're much squishier than Lincoln is.
And you see as the drills on its arm begin to whir to life.
The
Bring them towards you.
Where?
Gonna be a 23 versus AC.
Ooh.
Smash.
That hits.
There.
All right, you are hit for 12 force damage, and I need a strength saving throw.
Oh, force, like it's like breaking the rock. That's cool.
Save versus smoothie.
What? I'm sorry. What saving throw?
Dexter, strength saves.
Sorry. Ooh, that's not good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use my inspiration
Sure.
just for advantage.
I
Yeah.
watched some of that. Oh,
My strength save is not good.
Oh, is it? Is it not good? You old smoker.
15. I'm gonna put a +1 into it also, and make it a 16.
okay. Still a fail.
Oh no!
Fuck me.
As the drill pumps into you, the sheer force of it's not even like typical damage, it's just the force of it deals force damage to you, and you are thrown back 10 feet and thrown onto the ground prone.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Actually, that could be good in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind being further away from him.
Except for the smashy hammer guys being around you, that would be a bad time.
Oh.
True.
Stomped out.
Yeah. Jump him! All
It
I need
then-
to say is better you than me.
Is going to burrow under the ground again.
Oh no! Stop it! Attack of opportunity!
Yeah, you watch it begin to throw its grinding arms at the rough terrain below its feet, Lincoln, trying to dig into it to get away out of this difficult terrain. Attack of opportunity.
At advantage.
21.
That'll hit.
Yeah? Wait, no.
I don't think it does, actually.
It says in the text that if you can use your reaction for it.
But I think it has to be you. Like, it has to trigger from you. It's not a creature that triggers attack of opportunity on its own. Anyway, that's going to be 14 piercing and psychic damage.
All right. There is a number of sparks, and the fume on the top of its head begins to transition from a sort of fiery orange now to more of a plumy black smoke, as you hear the sound of what sounds like an engine or construct gears beginning to almost grind and come to a halt a little bit, as it is able to break away, but you hit it pretty hard as it digs underneath the ground.
Jimmy was also in range.
Oh,
He's
was
got-
he?
he's got
Oh,
them
he's got his
arms.
bugbear
He's got them
arms. Yeah,
arms.
that's true. That's true. Attack of opportunity at advantage.
At advantage.
Since he's not attacking me, yeah.
It has to be a melee weapon.
Yeah, I usually keep a little, at least a dagger, because I only have like a hand crossbow. You know what? I'll use the Gulper Behemoth Tooth.
Nice.
But I have advantage because it's stealth.
Okay, one of those is better than the other.
That'll hit.
Ignore the sneak attack.
The
So 5
Fire
piercing.
really saved our ass this fight.
Yeah, seriously.
That's 5 piercing damage as I stab it with the tooth from the Gulper Behemoth.
All right. It sparks more, but still stands as it tunnels underneath the ground. You hear the sound all around you. And time erupting from the ground behind you, it appears. Slinging a arm back down towards you, this time for advantage since you are on the ground.
No.
This is bad.
Time is dead.
Bonus, bonus.
16 versus AC.
Yep.
That's 12 more force damage and another strength saving throw.
No. The next step is 10 feet underground.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun.
I'm not even gonna use the +1. It's an 11.
Yeah.
All right. You are, just as it was before, you feel this force erupt in your chest as you're hit by a volley of whirring blades from the arm of the digging machine and thrown back as you collapse on the ground prone. It is done. That brings us over to Lankin up next.
Lankin spider crawls over the dome because he has a climb speed, and comes up right against this guy and attacks him with the rapier.
That advantage.
26.
Oh, that'll hit.
Oh god, these fucking rolls though. 14 on the first attack. Oh man. All right, just 14 altogether.
No.
14 altogether.
Yeah. What a disappointing bunch of attack rolls.
What does it look like when you put an end to the con?
Yes.
Oh, I jump off of the hamster ball and plunge the sword into whatever exhaust vent was spewing out the black smoke. Just
Right.
rip it out like that.
Black smoke fumes out of the sides as it's divided by your blade, and you hear the whirring, the clockwork inside of the construct catch, coming to a stop. You hear grinding as of those trying to start again but can't, and the entire thing collapses down as you kind of just roll right off of it.
Cool. In that case, I have more movement, which is great. I'm gonna move here and here. And I now also have a bonus action. Any of these guys not been hit yet up here?
This guy.
Yeah, third and fourth one going from the top.
Yeah. So this
So
one,
that one,
yeah.
and this one
I'll mark that one with Hunter's
Right.
Mark.
are marking him.
Yep, that's all. I'm done.
Right, good stuff. Lankin, the Durgar up next. Topping up first. It is going to begin shifting. 5, 10.
Rabbit.
Yeah, it's gonna try to attack. It's gonna hit with its claw at the frog. That'll miss. It tries to bring its hammer down. 11 versus AC.
Oh, just needs in 80 points will kill that one.
Yeah, that's 14 as it's watching its brother do the same smashes, and it moves 5, 10, 15, 20, and can't get all the way up to Professor Park just yet. This other one is going to do a claw attack against the one close to it. It's going to be a natural 20 versus AC. It's 9 piercing damage to the second frog down here. And it moves 5, 10, 15, and uses a hammer to attempt to hit you, Professor Bark, for 22 versus AC. Smashes into your unicorn form for 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, Jesus.
I can always tell when you're tired, Kyle, because you turn into a Pokemon with your characters. Professor Bark.
This one's gonna move up 5, 10, and
that poofs unicorn form.
all right,
No.
you poof. Forte, there was a unicorn underneath your butt, but you fall down flat onto the ground.
Oh no, I'm prone, but
There we go. You're not prone, but you slip off as Professor Park becomes human again.
Well, was he riding him?
yeah.
He
Yes.
was. You got to make an acrobatics check on that, Chief.
Oh,
I'm
do you?
pretty sure.
okay.
Or you're prone.
Orphan tumbling can do it.
Let's see it.
Okay.
It's a 7.
We'll say you
I'm-
fall
I'm-
prone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fall prone. I'll look it up.
You fall on your butt, Professor Park.
Okay.
Fuck. And fairy fire fans.
I don't-
Jesus
No. Okay. Do you have a reaction available?
Do I have?
Yes. You can.
Yeah.
You can use it to land on your feet.
That's
cool.
fine by me. I'll use a reaction to fall on my feet.
There you go.
Okay. It's gonna
It's
say.
not really. It's not gonna make a difference. I don't need to move on my turn. So
I was gonna say. I feel like you just don't do
not
anything.
that.
You just stand there. You'll.
everything. I become a blender.
Your body shrinks, Professor Bark, as you feel yourself coming back into your own original form, and you look ahead as another Durgar sort of slinks its feet across the rocky surface, throwing a claw at you just as the other one did. 24 versus AC, that'll hit 6 piercing damage.
Yes.
And
Not
then
good.
it brings its hammer to. 21 will hit as well. That's another 7 bludgeoning damage. This one moves 5, 10, and uses a claw against the toad behind it. 13 versus AC, likely hits for 8 piercing.
Oh, it's still alive.
And tries to bring its hammer down to end it. That'll be a hit with 19 for 8 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, frog army.
15, 20. It gets right here as they begin to try and coalesce around Professor Bark.
Actions like 1, 2, 3, 7
Repeat
actions.
frogs.
Oh, did Fairy Fire end? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yep. Uncle Jimmy, you're up next. It looks like the frog decoys have hit their time limit. What would you like to do?
Since it's free to move through friendly spaces, even if it's a giant hamster, I'm gonna move to here and then in front of Tyne.
He's just old on the professor.
Up to here. I'm gonna take a shot at the one in front of Professor Bark.
Little shit's
one?
like it's like leaning over and just like cleaning its.
Damn it, man! Do something.
Right. You attempt to make a shot. Let's see it. All right. 23 versus AC. That'll hit.
That is 19 piercing damage.
Good stuff. What one was that? Sorry, ping me.
Pingus.
That guy there. Thing that's gonna. Here, as you fire off a bolt that catches it right, like you can see it goes underneath the tuft of beard fur as you catch it likely in the neck and can see darkened black begin to smear against the white of it. What else you got?
How's it looking? Just offhand.
Looks like it's taken some damage, but still stands. You can make a medicine check to maybe gain a little bit more. Otherwise, yeah, still up and kicking.
Commencing with the Shoestein bonus action. 14.
14. Your shot goes a little wide, missing time.
And that's it.
All right, good stuff. I'll go Jimmy. Forte up next. The Durgar begin to surround Professor Bark.
An anvil whizzes by Forte and Professor Bark's head and tries to slam into the one directly to his right.
Mm-hmm.
For 13 versus AC.
Smashes up against the Durgar's armor, but it is hardy. That does not.
Forte. Use damage type. Okay. Forte summons a torrent of smithing hammers and anvils and activates Spirit Guardians. 15-foot radius around me.
Oh shit.
I designate any number of creatures I can see to be unaffected by it. That will be Professor Bark, Uncle Jimmy, Tyne, Lankin.
15 feet around you.
Not OP.
Yeah, 15 feet around me in a radius.
Here. Doing like this? Is that it?
Yep, just like that.
Oh, I like it.
I technically need to be where Professor Bark's at, but that's okay.
I shan't be here long, my friend.
Oh no, Jesus.
That sounded dire. I just meant I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, oh my god.
Some of the things Professor Bark says is so funny. Remember that time Professor Bark was like, "Let the motherfucker burn." You were like, "What? Don't let the wagon burn."
I will slide forward. That aura is gonna then be right here and basically affect all these baddies. Everything that's being affected by it, speed is now halved.
Ooh, I'm gonna put this on the token layer. I'm just gonna put this at the bottom.
When the creature enters the area for the first time, on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom save. On failed, 3d8 radiant. Successful save, half damage.
I like that a lot.
Good stuff. Anything else? Forte.
That's every one of my actions done.
All right. Now that the area here is clear of enemies, little shit begins to slowly roll in its ball, pushing the cart back.
He's earning his fucking name.
20, 25, 30.
It's a good boy.
Fleechler is similarly going to just sort of like ride its mule, who's kind of kicking and stirring around out of all the action happening here as he tries to pat at its side, stays behind Opie, 12-year-old boy. You all got this, yes, great job. Opie is up next.
I think this R needs to be one bigger.
Opie, that's me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing Opie.
Yep.
Sorry, Sammy Sage just walked into Montreal. I was a little bit.
I'll let you control this for.
Alright.
Thank you.
Let's go with. I know which one would be most helpful for Professor Buck. We're gonna go for the fire one. Normal roll. 21.
Ooh!
That'll
That's
hit.
Piercing damage.
Alright, 6 piercing damage as you fire off an arrow from Opie. Stuff.
And then he's gonna take one big, strong, powerful shot at the one right in front of Professor Burke. Where's the button to make attack? There it is. Yes!
Hey.
Because this is the one that I needed to hit on.
Yes.
He is moved horizontally 5 feet, which I'm guessing means away from you by 5 feet.
No, he can move it in any direction. The flies.
That's the
carry
strength
them.
save one.
Oh, I see.
Horizontally?
Yeah.
It's a horrible way to describe it.
It's a terrible description.
I think it's just a
I'm
push.
thinking because it's just describing a push when it says that.
Does it say away?
Horizontal direction of your choice.
Yeah, it's the swarm. Those little
Probably not.
fireflies move them.
Probably not up over a barrier or a ledge or something.
Okay, that makes more sense now. Okay, so yeah, I'm just pushing this one back 5 feet.
And it took 8 piercing damage.
8 pierce.
Alright, good stuff. As another arrow sort of catches inside of the open area of its sort of head cavity, you see more sort of darkened, what you can assume to be blood, sort of spew out over its beard, and it hacks and coughs. Almost the first time you've seen one of these Durgar actually show that they're actually alive in some way. Anything else? Opie.
That's it for me.
Frogs are dead.
I think that perfect with a dead frog friend.
Alright. That means you are up next, Bart.
Oh boy.
Double turns, baby.
It's a good thing I just stacked my own deck. I'm gonna use this card to give myself 2 bonus actions. I'll use my first bonus action to transform into a raptor and move away, which will incur opportunity attack from this guy. 2, 3,
Absolutely take it. Trying to hit 18 versus AC.
hits.
It'll be 12 bludgeoning damage.
Probably kills raptor form, which is the point of it.
Ah.
And then I'm gonna use my action. And I had my bonus action stacked if it didn't kill that raptor form. Tasha's Toxic Brew!
Good spell.
Bark empties out his
Balls.
gigantic sack.
Gross.
I'm gonna get all of you!
Like scary movie.
It's a 30-foot line, and that's gonna be, I don't know, I guess that's my line. Those 3. Make a DC 13 dexterity save.
All right, first, second, third. See what we got. They all fail.
Sweet. They are covered in acid and must use an action to scrape it off. They take 16 acid damage.
How much? 16?
Yeah, boy. When I say I emptied my sack, I mean I drained.
I'm assuming that technically counts. Well, no, that's not an attack roll. Okay.
At the start of each turn, so no acid damage yet.
But 16 initial damage, right?
No acid damage yet.
Okay. All right.
And I will refine my movement back 5. I didn't need to move that close.
Yeah, you sling a caustic brew in a line, trailing over the 3 Durgar, at least hitting good 3/4 of them. Anything else, Professor Barb?
That I'm gonna use my extra bonus action to put what's it called, shillelagh on myself, and then use my extra 30 feet of movement to run away.
Okay, sounds good. That brings us to Tyne up next.
I will summon my spirit totem, Unicorn.
Unicorns.
I want him to appear like, he was fine.
Make them various colors. Put little symbols on their hindquarters.
You have control.
Okay.
Cool.
Sorry. Record keeping, the raptor had HP left, so I used my bonus action to unraptor. And I do not have shillelagh.
I will then cast moves over to, I will cast Healing Word on myself.
Can't do that. Oh, wait,
Cannot?
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking that your unicorn was a spell.
No, it's a bonus.
Creature of your choice you can see within range.
Yeah, you could. Right?
You're good. I misunderstood a different thing.
And so I take 8, and then on top of that, for the unicorn, everyone or anyone who needs it takes. Oh, where is it?
What about the Duragar? Can the Duragar hear?
I choose. Oh well, I'm the everyone's getting healing from the unicorn.
They look like they're hurt.
Doing up myself. Good. They look fine to me.
About to be a shit ton more hurt when they start in those spirit guardians.
I'm so excited.
And the acid on them, they're pretty much just dying on their turn.
Bust.
Everyone takes 6 who need it. 6 healing on top of.
Is it healing or temp HP?
No, it's healing.
Nice.
So I got 8.
Black is gonna be here for a little longer.
Yeah, that's Aura of Effects on Roll20. Hey, Joker. All right, anything else? Tyne.
No, that's good.
All right, a unicorn appears and a field of energetic pulsing healing begins to surround each of you in an aura. Good stuff. That brings us to Lincoln up next.
I crawl up here where Bark was previously, and I attack my quarry for a critical hit.
Oh,
all right.
shoot!
I'm gonna also include my my hunter's mark in this. Give me a second.
Needs to be a voice mod preset. Holy shit!
Oh shit! Oh man. So that's gonna be 20 damage to this here feller.
Your hunter's mark fella. All right.
Yep. And if he's still alive, I attack him again.
Yeah, he is. You stab hard right into where you assume almost like clinically where the vital organs are, Lincoln, and some dark viscous blood pulls out from underneath the armor, staining it, but it is still stands.
That's pretty cool, actually. 26 on the second one for an additional 11. I don't get the psychic because he's the same target as I've already hit this turn. I have to hit multiple stuff.
It coughs between some of its missing teeth up this viscous dark fluid, which you assume is blood, as it cakes its beard. Anything else, Lincoln?
I think that's it.
All right. That brings us to the Duragar. Let's do Professor Barks first.
Top to bottom, left to right.
Are those if fail? Is that it?
They're already covered. Yeah, they just take this damage.
Oh, they don't make saves. Okay.
Nope. They can use their action to scrape off the acid.
That would.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurt.
It's a lot of damage.
That is a shit ton of damage.
I used a 3rd level spell slot for it.
Ah, cool.
Lincoln, you hear a gargling sound coming from the one you just stabbed in front of you as you watch as like the face of the Durgar sort of like begins to almost deflate as it just sinks into the armor as you hear a sizzling sound.
Oh.
The same thing happens to this one as well. 2 down.
That's sick.
It's an awesome move.
I do like that spell a lot.
It's a good spell.
And then the other two, well, this one up first, that's going to trigger Forte's aura. So what's the save?
It is a wisdom.
Oh, they're so wise. What's the DC?
Where is it? Wow, I'm on the wrong spell.
Should be at the top of your spell sheet.
Have you ever?
Should be. DC 14.
Oh yeah, fails.
Okay, they're taking.
Well, the top one failed.
Okay, 15 radiant.
What does this aura look like as Forte has summoned it?
It is a torrent of smithing hammers and anvils.
One of the hammers, as it flies by, just sort of like reels back and smashes into the side of the head of this dwarf as it sort of collapses over it.
Yeah, it's Divine Storm or hammers from Diablo 2.
And then the other one's going to go, it needs to also make its own save on its separate turn. Another whiz save.
Yeah.
Still fails.
Yes.
That one will take 14.
A
radiant.
nearby anvil with its underside lit up in a radiant burning energy sort of like pushes against the face of the Durgar, searing the side of it. This one still stands though, still alive.
It's got half movement since it started inside the aura.
Took him from 4 to 1 at the beginning of their turn.
On their turn.
Right?
5. Lycan! Gonna attack you with a claw first.
Okay.
15 versus AC.
Block it with my gross face shield.
All right, and then it brings its hammer slinging your way for 18 versus 8.
I also block it with my gross face shield.
All right, it is done. Uncle Jimmy up next.
Yeah, that's easy. I'm just gonna take a few steps forward, real sly-like, and take a shot at this guy.
Get one more closer. Get like with a melee shot.
It's a 12 hit.
That unfortunately flies a little too far amidst the floating hammers and anvils here that sort of obscure your view just a little and misses.
Bonus action, fire. Nope.
Oh no!
It's not
That's
a
it.
natty one. All right, 2-shot attempts at least. Forte up next.
The proper spiritual weapon hammer slash anvil swings into it for 12 versus AC.
That is unfortunately going to miss.
Jeez.
Okay, a sacred flame rains down. Please make a Dex 14 save.
Fails.
It takes 8 radiant damage.
You watch as the area around it lights up with a radiant energy as the Durgar is burned by the marks, but still stands.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be the death thing.
That's it.
All right. Hamster rolls around in its ball. It does that thing where it crawls one way, but its ball's strapped to the wagon, so it kind of crawls up, not realizing the wagon is sort of stationary, and kind of falls over on its back and kicking its little legs. Fleacher is yelling for you all to kill it and to keep it away from the wagon. Opie, you're up next.
Yeah.
+1 to Slim from Mousy.
Kyle got one also.
God damn.
Thank you, Mousy.
That's it for Opie.
Yeah, 2 shots from the arrow, Opie, but they go a little wide amidst all the things going on in the fray up ahead.
Shots.
Professor Barr.
Kyle, you got a +1 also, by the way.
Yeah, I remember. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Sure.
We'll go with Ray of Frost. How?
Ray of Frost.
Fuck off.
That's gonna miss.
I mean, what? We did this like super cool superhero flourish, and now we're just like.
We used up all the production budget on that. Now we're just
we look like Lightsaber Kid.
Yeah.
That'll be it for me and Opie.
All right, good stuff.
Paid 3D VFX interns in Crimea are finally keeled over from not being fed or watered.
Well, Grum. Tyne, you're up next.
All right. Does anyone need healing?
No, just kill them.
Yeah,
Can
just
we do any damage to
blast
them?
it, dude.
Okay.
One left.
Okay. I will. How far am I from it? I'm within range. Yeah, right? Yeah. Huzzah! Ice knife. Ah!
It shatters against its hard exterior. That's a miss.
But it still explodes, and it has to take it makes a dexterity saving throw. Will take 2d6 cold damage.
DC is 15. It fails at a 14.
Oh, thank God. So it takes 3 damage.
It's 3 damage.
Okay. Ice splinters catch in its cheeks, kind of jutting inside, pretty grotesquely. It still stands, although barely.
Luke, you got a +1.
Hey, thank you.
You see just like viscous, like dark blood just like pooling from its mouth. Its beard nearly saturated fully with the blood. Anything else, Tyne?
I'm good.
All right, Lincoln up next.
Hunter's Mark stab. 18, no, 12, fuck.
12. You catch it, but not in a vulnerable spot. That's a miss.
Unbelievable. Second attack, 25, fuck you.
There we go, there we go. That's a hit.
It's gonna be 15 total. 15
what does it look like when you down the last Durgar?
Just slowly insert the bone shard into its face.
It does that thing where it finally gets an opportunity to try to swing back at you, but as you pull the blade out, it just falls, cartoon, slapping against the ground.
Lincoln, not skipping a beat, with a great sense of urgency, just turns around, marches back towards the cart, and says, "Strip their bodies. We're going."
Yeah.
If I can salvage that golem.
I was just gonna say that I think these guys might have a few good bits on them, you know? Jimmy's gonna go to light a cigar off of his smoking corpse and then look over at the cart and just put it away.
You feel like you could maybe pry some metals off of some of these bodies, but it would take a little time because it is adhered pretty well. This is pretty thick, tough armor. This would take about an hour to do.
Would that be an hour for all of them?
Yes, to salvage all of them, it would be an hour.
Go.
Already took too long fighting them. We gotta just keep moving.
Would it be an hour for all of them or just one of them?
An hour for all of them.
If they're here when we come back.
No, that's fine. I was just curious, because he seems like he might have some more useful items than the others. But nah, I agree. Let's maybe on our way back.
Oh, we're
don't really have
not coming back
room.
this way. We're teleporting back.
That's
it's-
right.
Yeah.
It's,
We don't really
if-
have room in the cart for much else, I think. Right?
No, I was just curious. Trust me, I'm on board to get the hell out of here and keep going.
Yeah, the other thing is if the quarry does have some sort of untold riches like this guy says, like, probably more valuable than a golem.
These
All right.
schmucks.
That Wayne.
They missed a +3 hammer.
All right.
Right.
You all quickly assessing the situation and realizing it would be more apt for you to continue pressing on because of your deadlines. You decide to double check the cart, make sure everything is in working order, check on the large little shit hamster, the giant miniature space hamster. Fleacher kind of rides up on his mule and says, I'm in one piece. Oh, that'll be okay. All right, let's continue on.
We were so
moving on.
concerned.
Yeah, we didn't even look for him. We were just moving on already.
He was with me the whole time. I was bodyguarding.
Yes, the young boy saved my life. I appreciate it, young man.
No problem at all.
He's a true warrior.
Oh, really? Well,
Sure, warrior.
after everything I've seen from all of you, I'm apt to believe it. Elsie said, how's a roll 1 out of stock? Yeah, I have a limit on the +1s. We've had more of an audience recently, Mousy, and they've been... I think my players only have a certain limit that they can remember +1s. So...
I chewed through like 5 last week. It was
Yeah,
pretty dope.
yeah, it's very helpful, though, so thank you, Mousy. It's always useful for our party.
Jason, you wanted to do the 10 items.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
Nearby, there is a cart. A crate that using one of your crowbars, you're able to pry open. Thank you, everyone, for donating to that community challenge. As you quickly sort of peruse through and pull the stuff out, you find the following 10 random but useful items. There is a... Someone get ready to write this down, please.
Oh yeah, I'm at the ready.
Okay. You find a very interesting looking fang that would fetch 25 gold pieces.
Okay.
Ooh, my God.
You find a scroll, and unfurled, it is a divine scroll that offers you the ability to hide from animals. It could be sold for 25 gold pieces.
Okay.
Pulling it up and able to see and understand this, just because, let's just say it's labeled. This seems to be a shipping crate of supplies that were attempting to be delivered, and all of the items are denoted, so you don't have to take the time to identify them. You find a wand of magic missile.
Oh, yeah. That
Very
seems
nice.
good.
You find a carnelian gemstone worth 50 gold pieces.
Ooh, good shit.
You find a arcane scroll inside. This one has spider climb.
Nice, nice.
Also really good.
I no longer need that, but somebody else could get some use out of it.
The next 2 items. How many are we so far in? How many items?
Sorry, let's see. 1,
5.
2, 3, 5. Yes.
Okay. The next 2 bring us to 7 is 2 potions of cure light wounds.
Nice.
Is that just basic healing potions?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 8th item is a rock crystal worth 65, or I'm
Oh,
sorry, 60
damn.
gold pieces.
Nice,
And the
nice.
final 2 is a smoky quartz gemstone were 40 gold pieces.
Oh, we were running out of money. This is good. Yeah. What is the last one?
And oil of invisibility.
Ooh. All right, that's the haul.
All right, good stuff. Keep in mind, those can be sold once you hit a helper's hand if you want to trade any of that for gold pieces. And thank you everyone in the chat and from the community for donating.
I will. I'll take one of those potions of healing. That's all right.
Yeah, if anybody's not carrying a potion of healing, they should have their hand in the air.
Oh. I defer to you guys. If everyone else has one, I'll take one.
I don't have
If you
one.
don't have one, you need to have your hand in the air.
Yeah.
I felt like I do have one. Yeah, I have one.
I do not have one.
Okay. Tyne's got one. Do you have one, Jimmy?
No.
Okay, you have the other one then.
Yeah, you're more likely going to be in fire time.
No. I don't need one. You, Jimmy, and Tyne take the potions. Yeah.
Take the stick. Don't take the stick.
Don't take the. Whoa.
All right, you want to continue
My
on?
dad.
Real quick, we should divvy out the wand of magic missiles because it's really useful. We could potentially get some use out of it in the upcoming encounters. It's got 7 charges.
Nice.
Jeez.
Nice.
For each, you can increase the spell level by 1 for each additional charge you spend. That's really good.
You can just blast something with all the charges. Like,
Yeah.
I think probably time. I think is probably the best for that.
Yeah, Tyne, you need like a blasting option.
Sounds good to me.
Take it.
You can
It's
just
yours.
decide to lay into something.
And last but not least, Scroll of Spider Climb and Oil of Invisibility. Scroll of Spider Climb, it gives you a climbing speed for an hour. I already have that, so I don't need that.
Sure.
Jimmy for scouting.
I think Jimmy.
Jimmy, take it.
And invisibility too.
A silly question. Am I able to use it?
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's a scroll.
You just rip and read the.
No, I meant like comparatively. There isn't anybody else who would find more use out of it.
No, you're the scout. You gotta be able to get anywhere. And same
Take
thing
it.
with the invisibility potion. Like, stealth is good,
Yep.
but being invisible is good too.
I already have Dust of Disappearance.
Okay, all right. Somebody else take the potion of invisibility then. I'll take it. I'll take it. Fuck it. Let's move on.
Go.
I love it.
And then I'm writing down the monetary stuff that we can sell later.
Yeah.
You continue to press on. 2 more hours pass. Another mark off of the harmonic flux, bringing you to 11 light time. See the coalescing of the swarms of Glidokin up above in the air. They're slowly beginning to dissipate. It will soon become light time.
We gotta push it.
Punch it, Chewy.
As you are nearing a pass nearby, you hear the sound of, it sounds like a soft voice coming from up ahead, from some of the near brush. Hello? Excuse me? As you look up ahead, close to where you're passing by, about 30 feet out, pushing through some of the nearby shrubs, is a small girl, probably 2-3 years younger than Opie. She is short. She has fair skin. Her hair brown, but streaks of green run through it. Some twigs and things caught in it. She wears a basic gown that seems dirtied and torn. She is waving her hands and says, "Hello, please, I need help."
Lincoln looks to the rest of the group and says, "That's bait."
Yeah. Yeah, that's immediately what I was thinking too.
What is wrong, little one?
I knew it.
She turns to you, Tyne, and says, "Please, I got separated from my caravan. I was on the way with them to go see my brother. I'm lost. I need help getting back. I've been alone here for several days."
Insight check.
Sure.
Thank you.
That's a 23.
Yeah! Finally got some good rolls going.
Sounds like she's being honest.
Yet.
Where do you come from, little one?
Where's the fence gone?
We were on a journey heading through the nearby mountains. We'd just come across a place earlier where we were taking a rest. Our caravan split up after it got attacked by creatures out here. I got separated from the others. The mountains here are very twisty and turny. I got lost. We were headed towards a place called the Helper's Hand Guild located here.
Alright. Shove her on the gnome's fucking mule and...
He turns and says, "I don't really have room for a young girl like that."
You're incorrigible. Piggyback ride on Forte. Let's go.
Yes, come on, please. Quickly now. Get on the shoulders.
Be good, little girl. We will have you to your final destination within hours.
As she begins to step over towards you, you hear the clopping sound of the mule as Fleacher pulls up and slowly whispers to each of you, "I understand, doing a favor for someone in need. I just might remind you, we are carrying incredibly caustic materials. I don't want to necessarily leave her here on our own fruition, but it would be incredibly dangerous bringing her with us."
Yes, well, we told you we didn't do bodyguard services, but it seems that changed when you decided to tag along.
I'm
So
not
we have
asking
no
you to
choice in the
bodyguard anyone.
But
fact,
we
it better
can't
to be just
leave.
us.
We can't just leave this girl in the wilderness. She's certain to die. The night falls already. We can't afford to waste time.
She has better chances with us than on her own.
I throw her a little bit of a ration and say, "Come on, let's go."
The gnome is right, though. Forte, walk well away from the cart just in case.
Okay, I'll be over here.
Bleacher looks concerned, but says, "Right, but, I don't like this." He pulls back away from them. Who is carrying the young girl?
Forte, our hardy dwarf.
Right. She looks to you and says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you." She is tired where she takes the ration you give her, begins to quickly, not saying anything. You have any water?
I throw her one of my 8 water skins I have.
Oh, thank you, she says, popping it up. All right, continue to press on.
Yeah.
Right.
Small child acquired.
Added to inventory.
Also, I should have said this, sorry, but back here, not that it matters right now for you all, but I just want to keep this a thing that actually happens. You would have gotten a ping on your harmonic emitter denoting a nearby landmark.
Well, it's not within 2, right? It's adjacent.
Adjacent.
Right?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna make a little.
Right here is where it pinged.
Bing, 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 bing.
These 4.
Oh. We don't know the exact square, right?
Correct.
No, it's one of the ones around us. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make little question marks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you
Can't
could.
be that one. Can't be that one because we would have got pinged on that one.
Oh yeah, logic.
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper.
Although if we're going by Minesweeper rules, just to be fair to you all, you would have pinged here.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Logic.
That one. Or that one.
And then the other. Yeah. Okay. So it's one of those 2 then.
All right. Keep
Cool.
moving.
Good to know.
Nice.
You move ahead. The night or daytime begins to transition into night as you fall into one blight time.
Torches out. Stay away from the cart. Does anyone have like a not fiery way of producing light?
I do.
Doesn't Opie have something?
Yeah, I want to say Opie's got an item for that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so as long as we got something like that we can huddle around without exploding ourselves.
I can enchant 3 items, and they've always been like magical torches.
Could you just enchant like the whole cart? Enchant the cart. Boom.
No.
Light.
Nope.
It is blight time. All right. This would normally be where you would need to relax. Would you like to push to get to the quarry?
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll push it real good.
Right. You're gonna go ahead and push things through. Nothing happens on this square. The young girl, after drinking some water and eating some food, being carried by you, Forte, is sound asleep.
Good. Throw her in the cart after the explosives are out of it.
Brings you to 3 blight time. That's another mark off the harmonic emitter. And you move to the quarry. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please. DC is 12. On a failure, you are exhausted for pushing hard.
Opie is going to use her inspiration card that I definitely remember drawing.
Sure.
Damn, glad I used that.
So good job, everybody except some of you.
Yeah, it was 18 or a 1, so yeah.
So how that works?
What was
It's a 10?
DC 12.
12?
Tell
Okay, nice.
God.
Well, Opie's fucked.
That's okay. Level 2 is not attack rolls, right?
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
we're all right.
That's alright, I'm not that great at investigating anyway.
He's like half asleep.
What if, if you were having, if you were dreaming and then,
Yes, very good one, little one. Very good.
but then, because...
As you pull up ahead, the winding path, or what little could be described as a path that's more of just any relatively level ground that you can make across here on the cart through this area that has some tumultuous terrain, saved only by the fact that you have the large spikes exiting from your wheels that are able to catch a grip along the uneven roads here to pull you along because you were able to buy that stuff for your wagon. Up ahead, you find it dead-ending, stopping at an open area that seems to end in a cliffside At the base of it, you see a number of rocks that are piled up on top of each other. Almost unnaturally so. A large blockade. And nearby, you hear Fleechler say in a softer voice, seeing that the young girl is sleeping, "That's it. That's the quarry. Made
You
it."
don't have to whisper. She's going to wake up very soon.
We don't want to startle her with any loud noises, do we?
What?
Fleechler turns and says, "I understand the urgency that you all find yourselves falling under, but are you sure we don't want to wait until morning?"
I feel like asking us anything after understanding what kind of rush we're in means that you don't understand the kind of rush that we're in.
I
True professor.
fully and truly do not. So I don't understand the comeback. I'm just trying to help us along.
Lincoln leans in uncomfortably close and says, "We worked through the night."
Very well. Very well.
like with a drawn weapon, not pointed directly at him, but the implication is we're doing this.
Out at this secluded location.
Where no one, and I mean no one, could hear anyone scream.
You know,
For miles.
I'm not saying I do anything, just
No.
the implication.
but you're kind of making it sound. We can move on past the joke.
No,
You
no,
guys
no,
get it.
Fleechler stops as your cart pulls up a little more. Just the edges of your light beginning to illuminate. The only way that you could have actually seen it is by getting this close now. About 20 or so feet, you see the edges of what appears to be the cliff wall and the number of rocks and boulders stacked up upon it. Hear Fleechler say, as he has cracked the torch himself, "You'll need to carry all of the barrels across, over. Place them at the wall, equidistant from one another. You're going to want to uncork one of them. There will be powder within. It is obviously incredibly flammable and will catch as soon as it gets one light from anything. You're going to trail that back over. Let's keep as far distance as possible. At least 40 feet. This explosion will be very large."
I'm getting 100. I'm getting 120 feet back and using scorching ray. I got my circlet.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Man, sometimes I wish we were an evil party. We could just murk this guy and take all
That's
this.
what I was
Yeah.
just thinking. I was like, you know, we could just kill this guy.
I suggest that we all stand behind the hamster.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Cool. So we do like a assembly line or like a conga line, you know.
So yeah, like as you all set up and kind of get ready for things here. Let me see. Do this stuff.
Not that I don't appreciate the idea of efficiency, like, but maybe we shouldn't be, passing things one to the next.
You mean like tossing and shaking them repeatedly? Fair enough.
Many joints, many seams, many faults.
Give me just a
Says
second.
joints, what kind of
joints.
time?
Many joints.
What, bro? Somebody say joint, bro?
Bro.
It is in the middle of light time. And because of that, would you each let me know, do you have any specific special vision, Professor Bart?
Ooh, I like how you start with me.
Actually,
this one?
I'm sorry. I take that back. This is magical darkness because of the light. This is only affected. Do any of you have any torches or lights out or other forms to light the way, as your special vision doesn't even help you with it?
I don't have a torch out because we're handling explosive barrels, but folks have cantrips, right?
Yeah, Professor Bark has enchanted 3 10-foot sections of rope that you can use as a belt that glow. So that's how we've been doing
So
the lanterns.
okay, and where is that? Is that attached to like you all, or is that a?
They're just separate little strands of rope. My headcanon was that like every time it gets blight time, I pass out these glowing ropes that I use as like belts. Like I think of them as like glowing belts.
And how much do they light up?
It's not a lot.
How much do they light up? And who are they attached to?
Whoever's running these barrels back and forth, because they're not super specific. Like I say, it's kind of been our catch-all for lighting the. I'm trying to find the feature.
Sure, it's okay.
Here we go. Tiny magical object, property of your choice, 5-foot radius light.
So 5-foot radius?
Yeah, 5 feet in every direction from us.
All right.
I can at least take a torch, scout ahead where we need to put them, and like leave a torch like well away from it, but like in the general vicinity of where we need to put these barrels.
Okay.
I'd say anybody with a positive strength index are probably good to carry.
Yeah, I'll help. I'm not super strong, but I'm not exhausted, so it helps.
Yeah. +2 strength.
And so you have that.
I'm
Who
at
has
level 1 exhaustion, right?
Who has those ropes that light up at least 5 feet around?
That's what I was offering. Whoever has bonus to both of those.
So Forte. Is that it?
I guess
Okay.
Lincoln and Tyne, were you saying you were going to?
No, he was asking about exhaustion.
I was asking what my exhaustion level was, yeah.
But
I'm
I'm
not-
not positive on both of those too, so it'll be the 3 of us at the front of the line that have the glowing belts.
Sure.
Cool.
Thank you.
Arcing down a torch.
Right. Set a torch down nearby this area. And each of you, Forte, what are you doing with the young girl that sleeps in your?
Phrasing.
Once we started unloading the cart, I just set her down where I would normally sleep in the cart.
She stirs a little bit as you set her down and looks to you and says, "Are we there?"
It is almost time. We are making one little delivery, and then we will end up back in safe and sound.
Tell her there's going to be a loud noise.
There's going to be an extremely loud and unsettling noise, but that means that we are launching off and heading back home.
Should I cover my ears?
Yes, please cover your ears and eyes and stay within this cart at all times, preferably behind the giant hamster ball.
She begins to cover her ears, and as you begin to slowly step away, she turns and says, "Wait! Don't leave me in the dark."
Opie, I don't know if this is fair. This is what I would do if Opie was my character. Roll an infatuation level, which he is madly in love with this crazy person that they just found. He would sit in the cart with her. Like, no, that'll be okay. Like, I'm super strong. I'm a soldier. I'm a frog.
Yes, this is Opie. Opie is a seasoned warrior at this point. Many combats, surviving battles, and created and collected trophies. Opie, your charge is to protect the very important person here and make sure that they are safe. It is a warrior's charge.
Opie can sit in the cart, but Opie would know that it may be a mixture of the fact that maybe the young girl is scared, but also Opie would know if you stay in the dark without being lit by any sort of light, you do take damage.
He's got a light of some sort. He always has.
He's got a what?
Lantern or something?
He's got like some sort of magical light.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah.
tell ghost stories or make shadow puppets on the wall. You know, do the warrior things.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Here it is,
Hey, Forte?
glowstone. He has a glowstone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Forte, can I ask you a favor?
Yes, OP.
He motions to you like this to lean in. He breathes right in your face. Does my breath stink?
It smells like a true warrior's breath.
Great. All right. See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
The young girl's gonna hold the light. Glowstone is 20 feet.
I didn't check. Sorry. Hold
Well,
on.
we'll just say 20 feet.
Okay.
I'm being very methodical, but all right.
Did you see that?
You all set the barrels up. There's about 11, nearly 12 barrels worth. It seems as though, using your light, staying in the light, each of you working together, you set them up equidistantly from this sort of rocky, unnatural blockage that seems to be covering what you assume to be the quarry itself, leading down inside. What do you do from there?
Well, we need to drizzle a line about 40 feet back, you said, right?
Yep. So,
Yeah,
Lincoln, you
Make a fuse out of hemp rope.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could do that.
do that as
but
well.
he said, yeah, gunpowder, like, you could just take one of the barrels and do it, was he saying?
Let's use his plan. It's
Yeah.
his stuff.
You want like a check for that? Like a sleight of hand or
Um,
something?
So how are you doing it again? I'm sorry.
Actually, can I use a rope? Because I feel like I could do that more effectively with like weaver's tools. I have these weaver's tools.
Fleechler overhears you discussing this. Yeah, that would work fine as well, yes.
There we go. That's what I'm gonna do.
You set the rope up,
Bye-bye, hempen rope.
dragging it
I
out,
hardly knew
slowly laying it out. You're probably out like a good... Let's see. Like you in the cart, yeah, you're all out probably a good like 80 to 100 feet out. Clear enough where Fleechler feels pretty safe. And the little girl next to you, Opie, kind of takes the small little glowing rock in her hands and puts it in her lap as she covers her ears. And she turns to Opie and says, "Wait, you said your name is what?"
Only Stickyfoot.
"Nice to meet you, Opie," she says to go to shake your hand.
Oh, nice to meet you. What did you say your name was?
My name is Misha. Misha Bloom. Nice to meet you.
That's last name sounds familiar, doesn't it? A blue?
That's from somewhere.
Yeah, we've heard that before, either in this campaign or another one.
All right.
Lincoln gets up on top of the hamster ball, gets ready to shoot Scorching Ray, puts his hands down and turns around and says, "Small issue. I'm still blind. I can't see the rope anymore." Someone else, maybe? I know somebody else has a circlet.
Oh yeah.
I have a circlet.
Pull out a cigar and attach it to into my crossbow.
Oh, that's good too.
That's cool. Yeah.
I totally forgot when I came up with that plan.
That's okay.
I'll when everyone's in position, I'll use my aim ability to give myself advantage, but I'm shooting beyond my normal distance, so it'll give me just regular shot.
Sounds good.
All right, everyone ready?
Yes.
do it.
3, 2, 1.
You fire away.
Jimmy just saving your good rolls, baby.
Good crescendo with the music too.
Yeah, that was good timing.
I know. You watch Uncle Jimmy as the bolt flies across, striking into the hempen rope that quickly begins to burn, catching along the trail. It's weird. Outside of the small light that each of you have to keep each other lit up here in the darkness, it almost looks like it is just a void up ahead. Nothing but a single tiny flame that streaks across, following along the hempen rope into a black, complete darkness that stretches on. You watch slowly as, after about nearly a minute, it begins to climb up now, vertically. And then you all hear a sound explosion as the entire area is lit up by flames of red and orange.
Hell yeah.
Rocks pelt the area, smoke and soot shoot all around you, making the darkness even a little bit more stifled as you can throw some of your elbows or cloth around your mouths. You feel small debris, even this far away, tiny stone pieces sort of pelt. You hear a small scream coming from Misha next to you, Opie. And as this happens, the rocks all sort of fall down. And you're still too far out to see inside, as you see, holding a torch in hand and slowly beginning to kind of like wave some of the smoke out from around him. You see Fleetchler say, "Okay, I think it's open. All right, good.
Yes, successful. Now we make haste so that we can divvy up the resources and return to the guild."
Sure, of course.
I quickly
That sounds good to me. You may want to make sure everyone has some form of light on you, of course.
Yeah, I break out another torch.
Right.
I want to stay within 10 feet of him, let him walk ahead, and I keep my crossbow ready just in case he tries something funky. I lay into him.
Who, Fleetchler?
Cold, and he has an accident.
Fleetcher is like hanging back, letting you all push ahead first. Like he's not going ahead just yet.
All right. Take one of the illuminated ropes around my waist and do what every good first kill in a action movie or Hollywood movie does after an explosion in darkness. Creep forward, expecting myself to get killed.
Everyone make, now that most of the dust and ambient sound of rubble collapsing around has largely died down, everyone give me a perception check, please.
Oh no. Is this based on sight or sound?
This is based on sound.
Okay. Whew.
And maybe a little sight too. But still
That's
sound
purely-
included.
That 17 is purely sound for me.
Okay.
Grab a snack real quick. I'll be right back.
Ugh.
Lincoln, Uncle Jimmy. Through the sound of the ambient rubble, and up ahead as the smoke continues to clear, just at the edge of the periphery of the lit lights here in the complete darkness of light time, you hear a soft hissing noise. And you see silhouettes beginning to shift around in the darkness, pushing from the entrance of the mine. I'm going to need everyone to please roll me initiative.
Can I get one attack?
No.
I do want if it appears like what's his face is running, I want to put Hunter's Mark on him.
You look over. It doesn't look like he's noticed the sound yet.
Oh.
He's just like looking expectantly back at you all to head ahead. Like he does not want to go first. So he clearly seemed to have not want to do this necessarily at night. So he's gonna let you all push forward.
This sucks.
Jimmy.
Glad I chose Bugbear for the aesthetics, just like I did Rinkaz for the aesthetics, but not for the abilities.
Hey man, when we got to use those abilities, they were great.
That's true. I did get one, and I think it was something that entered into battle. Or a fish.
We need some pretzels while we're rolling initiative.
Pretzels are so good.
Yeah.
I don't like those icons, Jason.
I'll see Forte or Bark on turn order. If you do.
No, I'm not on turn order.
Jason will see different.
What?
Bark,
Forte,
Forte, and Opie are not on.
Bark. Opie. Opie, why can I not select your stupid ass to front? Why is it being like... Opie sitting in the car.
Mine's being weird too.
You're just saying
Huh? It was.
What did Professor Mark?
Jason, we got 2 elated Forlorns.
my god.
Oh my god.
All right.
Those last for a session though, right?
Well, we're gonna say this because we're close to the end. This last now and through the next session.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need Joka. Give me a D6 roll, please, and then a D2. Forlorn on a 1, elated on a 2, and we're going clockwork starting with Lincoln. Turn order here. So give me 2 D6 rolls and 2 D2 rolls. All right, first up, Uncle Jimmy, you're going to be Forlorn. Whatever you see up ahead, coalescing around in the darkness, does not fill you with great surprise. And Tyne, you are forlorn.
No.
You're forlorn.
We'll put some markers here on you to denote that. Little bodies laying down. Muse. All right. And now let's do this by descending. Lincoln, you see, or at least hear the sound of something shifting from up ahead, pushing out of the rubble.
Something scary this way comes.
Yeah, this does feel like a realistic font as well.
Oh, okay. That was it. His name's Fleacher, right?
Fleechler, yeah.
Fleechler, stay close to the cart. Something rises from the ground.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I say. I'm 40 feet away. Am I, with my partial blindness, do I have enough information to make a knowledge check?
You need to get closer.
Okay.
And this would be for everybody. Would need to get closer. You're still pretty covered in the darkness.
Okay, I'm gonna start moving then. Oh, wrong tool. And just let me know when I get a good idea what's going on.
Sure.
5, 10, 15.
I'd say about right there you can get a clearer look at this creature. It almost looks like a squat newt, but it's large in size. Its body is dappled with gray and chocolate brown and covered in colorful wart-like gems, most prominently over its back and along its thick tail. It has long claws, a mouthful of needle-like fangs, and a gleam of intelligence in its multifaceted amber.
That's a cereal box mascot.
Yeah.
I drop my torch, equip my shield, and cast Hunter's Mark, and end my turn.
Okay, you're dropping torch. Okay, skip a second. Do this. Token layer. We're gonna let this little piece of rubble serve as your that's
Okay.
nearby you.
Yep,
I'm gonna take the light off of you and move it over to it.
No problem. Does anybody have any preference? I still have like 20 more feet of movement, so I can move back towards the cart. I could like kind of hopefully like cut them off here so they don't move past me, you know, tank a little bit. What do you guys think?
Opie is going to summon Beast Tank one of them, so that hopefully we can split them apart.
Okay, in that case, I will move here, which should still be in range of the torch, and then be all right.
Yep.
Actually, maybe here.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe spread out until we know it can't hit all of us at once.
Okay, here I believe is still in range of the bright light of the torch, so I'll just stick around here. Anyway, this guy is marked by Hunter's Mark, and that's it for my turn.
All right, Lankin, you hear some commotion. I'm sorry, Opie, you hear some commotion going on up ahead. What would you...
Holy shit. Opie pulls out his little gilded acorn and kind of rubs on it, and then off in the distance you hear a magical creature appear. Does anybody remember what his magical creature is? I assume frog.
Is it a summon animal?
Summon beast.
It's different per area, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is a little frog that he makes. That's the summon one that
Yeah.
you get to choose.
So yeah, let's go with a gecko, I guess. I don't know. What would be imposing against it? Like, I guess, what are they called? Like a Komodo dragon.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And it's 90 feet, so unless I miss my guess, I can summon that right behind him. Yeah, I can. Boop. Right there.
I'm gonna wear it, ping me.
Right, yeah.
And what size is it?
Don't know that it says. Oh, small beast. Damn.
Okay.
That's not very threatening.
Opie, you point ahead and call for your beast and hope that it's back there. It's so dark.
And think that is it. He ain't got no more bonus actions.
Okay. Does it get a turn order?
No, I don't know how this spell works. Stop asking me.
I just want to make sure. We'll do one round and then we'll call this session. I'm probably go on a...
Creature displays in combat. The creature shares your initiative, but it takes its own turn immediately after yours.
All right,
Okay,
so I'm just gonna
I'm
put a little thing after you.
Yeah, that sounds good. It makes bite attack, I assume. Multi-attack even. Nice. This is a vicious little bastard. Beast makes a number equivalent to half the spell's level, rounded down to so 1. I don't see. Melee attack is your spell attack modifier to hit. Reach +5. Okay. Spell attack is +5. Normal. 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Nice. It does. 1d8 +2. Wait, what? +4 +2?
It's 2 plus the level, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. So 8 piercing damage.
Okay. You hear a gnashing sound coming from off in the distance.
It hisses and then bites this giant creature's tail.
Yeah, pretty much. Anything else? Little baby gecko. Or Komodo dragon.
That'll be it. Tactics. Yeah, that'll be it.
The creatures are up next. No, check surf. I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 25.
It uses its little boy attacks it.
Yep. Attack of opportunity.
I think this is right. Yes.
That'll
Did
hit.
you also multi-attack on your turn?
It has the beast makes a number of attacks equal to half the spell's level rounded down. So
Second level. Got it.
21 to hit for 10 piercing.
Mm-hmm. It's able to bite again as the creature pulls up ahead.
This guy's face makes me laugh.
The creature quickly scampers across the ground up to you all, opening its maw to reveal its needle-like teeth, and then quickly snaps its jaw shut and inflates its cheeks, its body almost puffing up for just a second, as its body quickly deflates, firing out a series of gem-like nodules on its body, detonating around into shards. Each creature within 20 feet, that is going to include everyone in the party outside of Oak. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save.
What kind of saving throw?
Dexterity saving throw.
Shit, guys. Gonna eat this one. Oh, hey, 19. Right.
17.
15. I'll put a +1 in.
I'll
So make it a
put
16.
I'll put a +1 onto that 13 for 14.
Probably gonna.
We said it though. Can't you just remember 18 unassociative numbers?
Not ready. Lenka, what'd you get?
14.
All right. You take 25 points of thunder damage.
Oh fuck! I think that's absorb elements time. Yeah. It's absorb elements time. I take 13.
And you are stunned
Oh, what?
until the end of your next turn.
Oh, that sucks. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
AoE stun? Fuck these things.
Forte, how'd you do?
I rolled a 4.
Forte, you take 26 points of thunder damage and are stunned. Uncle Jimmy.
15 +1, so 16.
Oh, okay. In that case, you take 13 points of thunder damage and are not stunned. Did you add in your Forlorn?
Oh yeah, it's a D4, right?
D4, please.
It's a 2, so that's a 14.
Okay, instead then, you take 27 points of damage and are stunned.
Wait, why do I take... I thought it was 26 they took.
Well, it's rounded down on a save. I'm rolling these individually for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tyne, what'd you get?
rolled a 17, and then I rolled a 4 for my Forlorn.
So 13.
Yeah.
You take 28 points of thunder damage and are stunned until the end of your turn.
This is ridiculous. Fuck this. This sucks.
Professor Bark.
Absorb elements, yeah.
What was yours, Professor Bark? I'm sorry.
20.
Okay, 20. You take 10 points of thunder damage and are not stunned.
Absorb elements, I take 5.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
And then here comes the second.
The other one crawls up to you, Lincoln, and begins to attack, first attempting to snap with its jaws and its needle-like teeth. I believe stun versus stun is at advantage.
I think so, yeah. That sounds right. But it's not auto crit, thankfully. That's paralysis.
No, yeah, it's not auto crit. I'm gonna roll these.
Fine. I mean, AoE stun's pretty fucking brutal, dude.
Yeah, 24 versus AC will hit.
Yep.
You're gonna take 12 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. 10.
Lincoln, in your stunned state as the creature wraps its teeth around you, you look down and you watch as forming across your bones are gem-like growths that begin to spread across your body.
Oh, you better believe I'm keeping these if we survive this. I'm gonna bedazzle the shit out of my bones.
It's gonna throw a claw your way. That's gonna be another 24. That's gonna be...
Yeah, I mean...
11 points of slashing damage. And finally, it swings with its tail for one finishing attack. This may miss. This is going to be 13 versus AC.
That does miss, at least.
All right.
Somehow, inexplicably, I kept Hunter's Mark up through all of that, but there's no way I survive another round.
Professor Bark, you are up. We're going to finish this round, and then we'll call it for the...
Professor Bark! Away! Oh, I think this is close enough. No, it's not. Fuck! Well, you know what they say, nothing gambled, nothing lost. Tasha's tosser, bro. I hope these are not nimble creatures that live up on this delicate mountain. 13 dexterity save from both of them.
From both of them? Okay, cool. Let me roll those now. Thank you so much for the follow, Night Mad Dragon. Welcome to the end of our session where there's been some bad stuff happening. The party is attempting to fend off some very nasty looking creatures from a mine that they've just essentially opened with some explosives. Happy to have you. This is our campaign that merges Dungeons and Dragons along with some Oregon Trail stuff. One step closer to 450. First one saves, Professor Bark. Second one fails.
Nice. It's covered with sticky stuff. You know how that works.
The one that fails?
Correct.
Okay, so the one in the back behind the one that you are immediately... Take the caustic brew.
Correct.
It's covered in goo!
I just need to check one thing. Yes. Excellent. And as... I guess the smoke clears? Oh, son of a bitch.
Now that the dust is settled, what do you guys think about this gem lizard?
Not a fan.
Them lizards are pain.
But, yeah, who put this pentagram on me? What is this?
That was me.
What does that mean? Oh, it's the gemstone thing.
Yeah,
okay.
gemstones.
I was like, what else happened to me?
Just gemstones.
Just gemstones.
Oh, here we go. This'll be fun. I transform into a similar giant lizard.
Okay, your body begins to expand as you try to form some facsimile of a large lizard to duel against them.
for flavor purposes, it looks like these, but it's got plant growths instead.
Cool, cool, cool.
But then he kind of like sneaks this way to kind of aim him away from the party.
Right. Anything else, Professor Bart?
As they say, is that.
All right. Time. You're stunned at the end of your turn. That's going to end. Zoop. Uncle Jimmy, you're stunned. Turn that ends. Forte, I don't think you were stunned. I think you're good.
I failed with a 4 on my save. So
Okay, stunned. It ends. Hamster looks around a little worried at some of the creatures that actually match it in its size. Leechler yells and is going to quickly begin 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, getting closer to the wet. And Misha sort of quickly hides behind Opie, keeping very quiet. As the creatures begin to crawl around your team, gemstones beginning to grow across Lincoln's body. Terrors in the dark surrounding you all. That is where we...
I think you misspoke on Misha's turn. She busts out a greatsword, right?
Nope.
Like Cloud Strife size greatsword.
Yeah. I'll do this.
Whatever the Van Helsing of lizards is, that she is.
Good thing I come from a long line of lizard hunters.
My name is Van Salamander.
This is what I was eating.
Cast Mass Cure Wounds, and a unicorn totem appears.
We'll see.
We gotta get there first, buddy.
No, that's what you're saying.
That's what the little girl does.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I wish.
All
God.
the good stuff.
I'd have a rock fall on her. The entrance explodes.
The
Can't
rest
have two.
Of the debris falls. Everyone dies.
Can't have two. All right, that's a good place to stop. Oh boy, we'll see what happens next session. Surprise encounter as some long-trapped creatures are stirred by the explosiveness, allowing them to escape. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us and tuning in. Thank you so much for the follow, Night Mad Dragon. That puts us one step closer. It's like 8 people away from 750 followers. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. We do this every Friday night at 8 p.m. A game that merges Dungeons & Dragons with Oregon Trail called Lucent Odyssey. And Monday through Thursday, we play a game of D&D that merges monster battling aspects a la Pokemon Digimon. Join this game. Thank you so much, everyone else. Thank you, Discordian, Joka, Mousy, everyone else for tuning in. If I missed anybody, know that I still appreciate you. We have some fun news for announcements for a fun special one-shot stream coming up, so your ears tuned in for that. Make sure and go support us by following the links over here in the chat. Go check that out. And yeah, go check out the Weirdkin guide if you'd like to come play with us Monday through Thursday. That's it for us. I'm going to go raid another stream very quickly, but I'm going to go ahead and play the outro while I do that. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and let's either meet Monday for some Weirdkin or come back next Friday to see how badly some things happen here with the party as these creatures attack. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye, everybody!
Bye.
One of the players Robbie played with got carried away and killed him.
Well, that's kind of far out.
Mazes and Monsters is a far-out game. Swords, poison, spells, battles, maiming, killing.
Hey, it's all imagination.
Is it?